Hey, good evening, everybody. Welcome to another live episode of the Outlaw Nation show here on the Outlaw Nation channel. I am the Outlaw John Rocha. Feeling frisky tonight. Hell of a night talking about basketball for 3 hours. 3 hours on Twitch. A lot of fun there. But before that, I was doing the trailer reaction for The Last Duel. I was handling some business, running some errands, and also watching a couple of movies I'm doing reviews for later on this week. So really excited about that. Yeah, I'm doing more and more reviews now on the channel because I announced this over the weekend and on the Top 10 show last week, but also over the weekend. If you guys watched me on that Skybound Expo panel, I am a official tomato meter critic. I got approved by Rotten Tomatoes to be a tomato meter critic. So I'm going to announce this on social media tomorrow morning. Got to do a whole graphic. They got all this whole package that you have to follow. Oh, let me pull back a little bit. They got a whole package that you have to follow, graphics that you have to use, all of that to put it in motion and to let people know about the fact that you are a tomato meter critic. So it's going to take me a little bit to put that together. But yeah, that's the situation. So I've been trying to do more reviews, trying to do all those kinds of things. So pretty cool stuff overall for myself and also for the channel. So so exciting stuff overall. Thank you all so much for joining me tonight. This is an Ask the Outlaw hanging out type Outlaw Nation show tonight. You know, I like to do them on Tuesday nights, but we're doing really, really late one tonight at 9 o'clock. Hopefully be done around 11:30. But everything is on the table. Thank you, Sean. Thank you, Cal. Thank you, Smithy. Thank you all so much. Yes, I'm not a Rotten Tomatoes approved critic. That's like people who are at like Variety and THR or Collider or, Screen Rant. But I am a tomato meter approved critic. So that means my reviews go into the mixture of whether a film is rotten or not. So that is a positive for me. And I've been doing all these reviews and doing all these trailer reactions, trying to drum up more and more of the attention for that. And then I'll have to attach them to my account. And then you guys can go and take a look at some of those reviews. We're also working on a website. Douglas, one of my patrons, Douglas, has been fantastic at sending me some questions that I need to sit down and go through this weekend. I think is a perfect time to sit down on Saturday. We were busy all weekend this past weekend, a lot of stuff going on. So this week, not much scheduled. So gonna sit down and look at the questions and answer them, and Douglas and I can start the process, hopefully, of getting this website up as soon as possible. But how are you all doing? I hope you're doing well. It's nutty out there. It's absolutely nutty out there. I thank you, Josh. Appreciate it, brother. Thank you, Daniel. I've seen all the variants, seeing all this conversation. I don't mean the Loki variants. I've seen those conversation about COVID and all the stuff that's happening out there. Got the Lambda variant that apparently I was before I started watching the basketball game, the NBA Finals game. I saw that the Lambda variant, the first case of it, has finally hit our shores. And if you don't know the Lambda variant, that's been down there in South America, laying a swath of destruction down there to a lot of people in those separate countries. Brazil apparently has their own variant. So this is just madness. And the cases are starting to go up around the country again. I'm not sure what the death numbers are, but the cases are starting to go up amongst the unvaccinated. So if you're not vaccinated and you're listening to my voice, for the love of God, get yourself vaccinated. Get that Moderna. Yes. Does it knock you on your ass for a couple of days? Yes, it does. But it's better than being knocked on your ass for weeks or maybe months afterwards for these symptoms that are going to come on after you're done getting over COVID. If you have the opportunity to get over COVID, the symptoms that you have to deal with. So please get on that for sure. Yeah. And Cal, what's up, Calvin? Good to see you. Says, yeah, I still mask up everywhere. Yeah, a lot of people do, because even people who are vaccinated have gotten the variants, and we've seen what the Yankees keep getting people going down with COVID. They can't seem to keep themselves straight. So I don't know what they're doing. If they're just like in the locker room, all just breathing on top of each other. I don't know what's going on, why the Yankees specifically have had it happen twice, but it's a little frustrating to hear it over and over again from a team I support and respect. And they're used to being a team that leads the way in the MLB in a lot of ways. And certainly they're leading the way the wrong way in this situation. So let's see what else is going on. I don't know. My life, working hard, doing what I can. And also, just kind of we're figuring things out here as we both work together. I'm getting more opportunities to watch some movies, getting more opportunities to do all the stuff that we're doing here on the channel. I owe the patrons a show, the first show this month for Criterion Quarter. That should be coming very soon this week. And then, of course, Ask the Outlaw will be next week. And we'll put, I think we might do 2 shows next week. We'll do the Ask the Outlaw show, and then maybe we'll do the Outlaw Rides again on Friday of next week, before the Wendy show, or maybe after John and Wendy Save the World. Depends on if there's a Schmoedown match, because I know my patrons love to watch the Schmoedown pay-per-view matches happening. So we'll see. We'll see for sure. But what's going on with you all? Like, talk to me. What is happening with you all? How's your life going? How are things going in your world? Are you happy? Are you getting a chance to get out there? Are things going back to normal for you in your world? What's the deal? To talk to me, let me know. Tonight's the Q&A episode, so whatever you want to ask, whatever you want to talk about, whatever you want to hear my points of views on, you can send it in as a Streamlab or a super chat. An occasional question in the chat I'll pull out and answer as well. But if you want to get your question answered here by me, you can do so at a Streamlab or the super chat. See the Streamlabs down below there as well, and I can pin it into the chat and pin it, and it's of course in the description of this as well here on the Outlaw Nation show. So let me do that now. Did you guys get a chance to watch the game tonight? So are you guys happy about that? Let me know what you think. What do you want to do? You want to talk about movies that are coming out? Do you want to talk about any of the trailers that have dropped? Do you want to talk about sports? Do you want to talk about the Olympics? Do you want to talk about COVID? Do you want to talk about Schmoedown drama? Everything is very, very wide open tonight. You'll get my full, unadulterated answers, unfiltered answers to everything. So I'm pinning in the chat the Streamlabs address there. And then I'm going to the website so you all can send stuff in. We had Top 10 dropped a new show today as well. If you haven't seen that, we dropped our new list, which was a lot of fun. We talked about Bruce Willis, or we just talked about, I think, a number of things, and then we got into our Bruce Willis stuff. But we didn't really do our list until near the end of the show. So it was a very unusual top 10 show. If you haven't listened to it yet, it's maybe a sample of what the show may start to become, which is Matt and I just shooting the shit about a lot of stuff once a week. And then we get to our lists near the end of the show, which a lot of you have said that's your favorite part of the show is our tangents or our diatribes or our points of views on the world. So, that could be something that we end up doing on the top 10 as a way of kind of changing the look or changing the approach of the top 10, because we've been doing it for so long. So we shall see. And certainly for the $10 and above patrons, I think we're right up to our 4th Thursday of the month coming up this week. So you get to listen to us do our show live if you're a $10 and above patron on the top 10 Patreon there. That's patreon.com/the top 10 with the number 10. That's how you get there. And of course, my patron, the Outlaw Nation, this is a pretty awesome page, patreon.com/John Rocha. You can go and join there, see all the multiple tiers. Maria and Sean and I have kind of hashed out some new tiers that will be dropping August 1st. Everybody who's in now will be grandfathered in. You don't have to worry about it, but it'll be a little more, how am I going to say this? It'll be sleeker. There's not going to be as many tiers. But you're going to get a lot of benefits for wherever tier you're donating at. You're going to get a lot of benefits. So if you've been hesitating, if you're not sure, if you've wanted to see something more from the Outlaw to kind of increase your support for what we're doing here on the channel, it will be there for you all to enjoy. We're going to announce it on August 1st. I will do a video and everything like that. Also going to create a video welcoming people to the Patreon as well. I've been kind of dropping the ball and not making that video for you all over the last year. I should have done that because I see most of you all in the chat, or most of you all in the Discord, or most of you all in the Zoom chats when we do our Zoom hangouts. So I kind of feel like we know each other, but certainly I need to get on top of this a little bit more, and I'll do that for the new people that are coming on for sure. Justin Toner donated a Streamlab here. He says, "Hi, John. Between NXT and the watch along you did on Twitch for the NBA Finals, I have had a great night. Thank you. I really like the Last Duel trailer. Hope this is Ridley Scott getting back to making good movies. What films are you looking forward to next?" Well, I'm seeing Pig tomorrow, so I'm looking forward to that one. Suicide Squad, I'm going to see on August 3rd. I'm looking forward to that one. I haven't heard yet when they're going to do Bond, but we're certainly turning the corner into fall. I know we're in the middle of or we're in the latter half of July, but August is not that far away, and then September is essentially around the corner when August is not that far away, and then football season starts, and that's the fall. So that's I'm looking forward to Top Gun Maverick. Look forward to No Time to Die. Certainly Duel. Did you see those pictures? Man, those posters that came out today or yesterday were incredible. Oscar Isaac's poster was stellar. I mean, that's when people talk about hair, that's the hair that people need to be talking about. It looks incredible, that hair. So shout out to that, all the looks that are happening there for those posters. Really incredible. Josh Mabry. So those are the films I'm looking forward to. And yes, Ridley Scott, The Last Duel trailer. I did my reaction for The Last Duel trailer. Really loved it. And it's going to be a very tough movie to watch, I'm sure, because it's a woman accusing a man's friend of sexual assault back in the Middle Ages. And it's based on a true story and how she stood her ground and said this happened, and it led to a duel between the two men for their honor, and so it's there on the table, and it's obviously supposed to connect up to what's going on in our world, or what has been going on in our world for a number of decades in our world, a number of centuries, really, and since the dawn of man, probably, in our world. But yeah, kind of interesting to see a film that might be slightly anachronistic. And I saw some guy in the chat who I ended up blocking, or in that chat, in the comment section, like, oh my God, they're even Me Tooing Knights and blah, 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 blah. It's all like, yeah, I can handle Knight's Tale apparently when you're singing Queen songs, but I could not handle a knight who possibly could be in a situation like a Me Too situation. That's just too far out of the realm of possibility. You're just messing with my head too much. So ridiculous. So absolutely ridiculous how sensitive these little snowflakes are sometimes. Mind-blowing. All right, Josh Mabry. Oh, yeah, you're in the super chat here. Let me bring it up for you, Josh, so you see your name on the screen, son. Jackass trailer just dropped, and I never realized how much nostalgia I had for it. Have you watched it, and what was that show crew like for you? No, I haven't watched the trailer yet because I want to do a reaction for it tomorrow morning, but so I haven't watched it yet. Getting up early. First thing I'm doing is a reaction trailer to that thing. Then I'm watching Pig and recording a review of that. And then I'm watching Joe Bell and doing a review of that. So that's and then Geek Buddies as well. So just letting you all know that's my day tomorrow. But yeah, have I watched it? I used to watch it. I did watch the first two movies for Jackass. And I remember watching, there was a Japanese version of Jackass, which was even more insane, even more out there, because obviously they have less, it seems to be like they have less rules for certain things in Japan than they do in the United States. So some of the madness that they were doing, I was just like blown away by that stuff. But yeah, I like Johnny Knoxville. When he was kind of breaking into movies, I had nothing negative about that guy. They're all doing it to themselves. So to me, I never saw any kind of issue with that, because they're doing it to themselves, not to anybody else. And I think that's fine. That's totally fine. So yeah. But I will absolutely watch it, bro. And I'm sure there'll be a screening, and I'll have to go see that and do a review for it as well. Good to know that you have nostalgia for it, my man. Chris Taylor, he says, so Cena had to change his name of his finisher from FU to attitude adjustment, but Roman Reigns has a move still called drive-by. What's up with that? Well, FU is an actual cuss word, whereas a drive-by is not necessarily a cuss word. Now, does it imply death and shooting and all of that? Yes, absolutely. Or if you're Mrs. Doubtfire, it's a drive-by fruiting. Absolutely understand that. But here in this situation, Roman Reigns doesn't have to change it because it doesn't have cuss words in it or allude to cuss words. So, and you know how it is. The South Park guys made a big deal about that with their movie, how they were allowed to cuss up a blue streak. But they couldn't show too much, or was it? No, they could show violence, but couldn't show any cuss words. So they were allowed to show a lot of violence and some sexual situations, but if they put too many cuss words in, then it was rated R. So it's a puritanical approach in this country that we have towards cuss words and swear words and what have you. And so that's the situation. And that's why WWE is making, I mean, it's like a Christian with the Schmoedown, right? It's like, don't cuss. And it's like, well, you're taking away such an essential part of what we did as players and what some of us use to motivate ourselves to get in the right frame of mind, the right space to compete. So to take away cuss words because you want to make it family friendly, I think I don't know. It's hard. It's just hard. That's all. It's just hard. So it's not my cup of tea sometimes. in that bed match, I had so many things lined up, but I was like, I could hear Christian in my head, like, no, don't say that. Don't say that. Don't get there. Don't go there. So I had to kind of chill out and not indulge in that. Simon Section says, enjoyed the Last Duel trailer. Let's hope Ben Affleck's European accent is more believable than his Shakespearean love accent. Well, he opens the trailer. That's his voice opening the trailer. So if you're okay with that, I imagine that's the voice you're going to hear throughout the majority of the movie when he speaks. But did some of you catch what I said on my trailer reaction? How his blonde hair and the cut, he looks like the villain from the Busta Rhymes Dangerous video. And I put that up on my thing. Let me see if I can find it for myself, because I know I have it here. And I know no, I'm looking at myself there. That's I'm going into world within worlds here. Yeah, where is it? Let me see if I can share the screen and show you this. Yeah, here we go. Here we go. I don't see it to get me in trouble, but I'm going to share this. Thank you, Simon. Appreciate the super chat. Please keep sending in Streamlabs and super chats, ladies and gentlemen. This is the show. This is the show every week that I rely on the most. So any support you can send, I'd really appreciate, to show love for the Outlaw Nation, to show love for what we're doing here on the channel. Please, any Streamlabs super chats you can send in, I'd appreciate it madly as we build the things that we're building here on the channel. Any support you can send in. Streamlabs address is right there on your screen. It's also in the description of the video, and I pinned it to the chat. So I appreciate it. Thanks for the super chats that have been coming in. All right, where is it? Where is it? Is it here? No, that's the wrong one. No, here we go. All right, so I'm going to you guys can see that, right? So let me make it bigger. All right, so you see what he looks like. So this is what I said, that he looks like this dude from the Dangerous video. And I don't think you can hear me talking. You don't need to hear me talking. But look, right there, look at that. Look at that's the villain from the. But look, I mean, it looks so similar. Am I wrong on this? I feel like it's the same thing. I mean, call me crazy. I feel like that's super similar. He's got the like goatee down here, the blonde hair, and he's got the cut. I mean, tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong. So it seems to me like that's what he looks like there. And that's one of my favorite music videos from the 90s, too. I love that, Dave. It's a play on Lethal Weapon, and it's so well done. It's one of my favorite Busta Rhymes songs as well. You should have a healthy fear of us. It's too much of us. It's dangerous. Yeah, I love it. Oh, it's my version of it at my age. Yeah, Justin says I'm not wrong. I know I'm not wrong. It was the first thing I thought when I saw him in the trailer. I was like, holy crap. The haircut is the same. The goatee is the same. All I'm missing is Adam Driver doing his Busta Rhymes, which would have been hilarious. I would have loved to have seen Adam Driver do his Busta Rhymes through that whole thing. Anyway, so there you go. That's my 2 cents on that. All right, so a lot of people. Let's move on to a little bit of a current topics here. And remember, this is a Outlaw Nation Q&A. So if you got a question you want to ask about anything, about the world of entertainment, about sports, about my life, about mental health, about writing, whatever's going on in your world, do you have a block of some kind? This is the time to do it. You want to know about Schmoedown stuff, Schmoedown drama, behind the scenes stories, anything you want to know about. Tonight is the night to ask about it when you're watching and listening, because it is the Ask the Outlaw time. And when I give you guys this one, I'm pretty wide open. So any questions you want to ask, nothing's off the table. So we can have some fun. We can have some fun talking about stuff for sure. Mixed Partial Farts says, did you watch the NBA Finals, my guy? Bucks just won the championship. Well, Mixed Partial Farts, I literally did a 3-hour stream on Twitch watching the game. Where were you? What were you doing? Were you having full farts, not partial? Or were they not mixed? What were you up to, buddy, that you couldn't join me for a 3-hour watch of that game? So, yes, thanks for coming in late and not realizing that I'm on Twitch, The Outlaw Nation, all one word. I did a live stream of that game, and that's why I'm a little bit exhausted right now. Yeah, just to tell Mixed Partial Farts the truth. All right, I got 70 of you watching us tonight, right now. Thank you so much to the 70 of you who are watching. Please leave a like here and leave a comment if you're watching later as well. But leave a like for now because you're watching me live. That thumbs up button, that's important. And remember to send in your Streamlabs super chats for your questions. It says, damn, I'm not on Twitch, but we'll tune in next time. Well, next time is next year, buddy. The game is over. The title is over, but I'll be doing some streams for the women's soccer team in the Olympics maybe the men's basketball team at the Olympics, possibly gymnastics, which I think would be really fun to have the Outlaw talking about gymnastics on Twitch. That could be a lot of fun if you want to join me on that. So that could be a joy for sure. And of course, you guys are, you guys know I'm an affiliate on Twitch, so I'll be starting to schedule, watch alongs of Amazon Prime movies and also the games as well on Twitch, so that to increase that arena of what we do here as well. So very much working hard, ladies and gentlemen, very much working hard. All right, Doug Developer. Hey, Doug, what's up? I was just talking about you earlier in the show, buddy. He says, hi, John. Which team was your favorite Redskins Super Bowl win? Ooh. Also, which Super Bowl was more shocking? The 14-2 Skins getting their ass kicked by the Raiders, or backup Doug Williams throwing 340 yards and 4 touchdowns in the second quarter against Elway? Great questions, Doug. I appreciate that. So which team was my favorite Redskins Super Bowl win? It has to be the first one, when the Redskins won with Theismann and Riggins, because Riggins is essentially John Rocha as a running back. It's John Riggins, John Rocha. The correlations are there. The 44. I love even numbers. And that 4th and 1 move is like me beating Dan Murrow for the title. Nobody saw it coming. Everybody thought Dan had the advantage, and boom, I won that title. Or me beating Bibbs, or us beating the unbeaten Schmoes, or us beating Corruption in Orlando. Those are those moments that you got to show up and step up and win. And that is what that's why I love that Redskins team. Nobody expected it. The strike season, Joe Theismann, they're finally getting going to the mountaintop there. Riggins and that run, and that whole crew and the nicknames, all of it. And I was a kid, man, and that was just like, you loved it. The Pearl Harbor crew, the Smurfs, the Hogs. It was just great. That's when football had real personality. And it was down on the ground, rough personnel. Was shit going on behind the scenes? Yes, of course. But that was for fans we were watching at the time. That was real football. So that was fun. That's my favorite one. Although I enjoy the Rippon one, and certainly enjoy the Doug Williams one, because of a black quarterback taking us to the Super Bowl, winning the Super Bowl for the first time ever as a black quarterback. Him throwing for him, the Redskins rather, and him scoring 35 points in one quarter to beat those Broncos. That was incredible. But the Broncos weren't. The Broncos had gotten beat by the Giants the year before. So, it was more a matter of they were beatable. The Bills, same thing. I didn't fear that Bills game at all. I knew we were going to stomp all over those Bills. The Raiders game really shocked me, because people forget that earlier in the season, we had beaten the Raiders on a Joe Washington cross throw into the end zone in the last few seconds by Theismann of Washington. So I thought, the Raiders might want revenge. Did I know we were going to lay an egg in that Super Bowl? I did not. We just got completely destroyed. It was such a shock, because you could argue that offensively we were just as good as the 1991 version of the Skins that won the Super Bowl against the Bills. But for whatever reason, man, the Raiders just had our number that night. And Marcus Allen, that run, that's, when you watch sports long enough, when the daggers are. And that was a dagger. So there you go. Yeah. All right. Thanks, Doug. Appreciate it. Fast Bowler says, I still listen to your Cinephiles episode on Chariots of Fire. Emotional and speaks to the power of film. So question, in Last Duel, will Kylo beat Jason Bourne? Will Batman come to the rescue? Yeah. Or will Villanelle just end all three of them? That's certainly possible as well. But yes, Kylo taking on Jason Bourne. Yeah. It had shades of Excalibur. I didn't say that in the trailer reaction. I should have said that. I thought about that later, how it had shades of Excalibur, because the same thing, right? Guinevere gets accused by Sir Gawain, who's prodded by Morgana. Sir Gawain the Green Knight is prodded by Morgana to make the claims at the Round Table. Arthur, she denies them, her feelings for Lancelot, or Lancelot's feelings for her. She denies them. Arthur says he can't be her champion because he has to be the judge of the joust, or of the fight. And it's Gawain versus Lancelot. And Lancelot wins, but he also suffers the indignity of winning by cheating, and winning by knowing he's lying. So yeah, it's a fantastic thing. So part of this is mixed into that. Not all of it, obviously, because that's sexual assault, that what you're dealing with in the Last Duel. That's a different cup of tea, so to speak. So yeah, but yeah, I enjoyed it, man. And thank you so much for listening to that episode of Chariots of Fire. That's one of my favorites, bar none, as that movie is in my top 5 of favorite movies. That movie changed my life at a very young age. And is always something I refer to. Like when I'm down, when I'm like questioning myself, when people are, just laying into me, for the things I do on the competitive side of my life. I go back to that and I find my center, I find my strength in that movie. And it's such a powerful movie for that. Absolutely. All right, Carol, what's up? Carol says, hi, John, wanted to send this in quick in case I fall asleep. It's past midnight out here. I was surprised that the Geek Buddies have not discussed either trailer for season 3 of DC's Titans. I know Shannon has seen the first 2 seasons, but have you? No, I have not. I think that's why, because neither Mike nor I think, have seen the first 2 seasons of Titans. They both had seen Succession. So we did Succession the other day, the Succession season 3 trailer. I let them talk about it because I don't have a dog in the hunt. I've only seen 1 episode of that show. So it was more a matter of that, to be honest with you. So I don't know what, sorry guys, I'm just kind of scratching my back. So I don't know what that situation is with Titans. I haven't seen it. I didn't hear good things about the first season, so I wasn't curious to go and see a better second season, but maybe sometime down the road, I'll go on a binge of those and enjoy them. We shall see. And I was thinking about maybe adding a little more content to the Geek Buddies that is just podcast content. So it could be just a quick half an hour show every week where we talk about, an episode of Titans, or an episode of a show, or binge watch a season and just have a fun conversation on the podcast that's only available in podcast form. That would be the way to go. So I would consider that for sure. But that's the reason why, brother. If you're asleep, I'm sorry. I hope you get this in the morning when you rewatch. If you're not asleep, thanks so much for sending in the donation. Very kind donation. Very much appreciate that. All right, Josh Mabry, what do you got here? Josh Mabry says, thoughts on analysts criticizing Lamar Jackson for giving back to his community and playing with kids, saying he's risking getting hurt. Yeah, well, I mean, you can't listen. I mean, look, these analysts have to create drama. It's a 24-hour cycle now in sports. ESPN is never off. So they have to kind of talk about all this stuff all the time. Rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. So they have to find the new drama to get views, to get likes, to get clicks, to get people watching their stuff, to validate their massive salaries. They have to create this drama. So these analysts that are criticizing Lamar Jackson, let him do what he wants to do. Let him do what works for him. And if he's giving back to his community, having fun with his community, playing with his community, so what? Kobe Bryant went and played at Rucker Park on asphalt after he had won a title with the Lakers. That would freak me out more than Lamar Jackson playing with his community, because, you get a Yahoo out there at Rucker Park who wants to make a case for himself and is feeling himself as a little jealous of Kobe. He could have undercut Kobe, could have hurt Kobe in some way. So to me, that is more dangerous. So you got to let athletes express themselves and find their moments to not play in high-pressure situations, to have some fun and remember what it's like to love the game. So to me, I got no problem with it at all. If his team doesn't have a problem with it, why the hell do you have a problem with it? And talking to the analysts, not you, Josh, but why do they have a problem with it? It makes no sense to me at all. Especially because some of those analysts are never going to be as good as Lamar Jackson was in the game they chose to play. Lamar Jackson is on the ascendancy, ladies and gentlemen. He won his first playoff game last year, so he's moving up. Look, if Giannis is not a test or a case or an example of what can happen when people doubt you and you just keep working at your game, you just keep believing in yourself, and when the moment arrives, you are ready for that moment and you grab it by the throat. And Giannis has been doing that for the last 4 games, and that's why the Bucks won 4 games in a row off the Suns. And essentially, it's not a sweep, but it certainly feels like a sweep if they won 4 games in a row. It's like a version of a sweep, sweeping the Suns out of the finals overall. So that's sorry guys, that's an incredible feat. And it was because Giannis believed in himself, worked on his game, put on his pounds, took the hits. I mean, last year people were like, including me, and I'll fully admit it, and I'll eat crow for it. People like me were saying he wasn't an alpha. He wasn't a real alpha because he didn't grab the game by the throat. He didn't force his team to win. He didn't will them to victory. And certainly in the finals, once it got to these finals, he did it in game 3 when they were down 36-30 at home in the second quarter. He yelled at all those players and woke them the hell up. And tonight, when pretty much every player on the roster this side of Bobby Portis was playing like dog crap, go look at Drew Holiday's numbers. Go look at Chris Middleton's numbers. Don't let the 22 points and the 14, 16 points fool you. They're playing like crap the most of the game. He willed them to victory. His 50-some points, plus the free throws, plus the blocks, plus the defense, the general disruption of passing lanes. Giannis ascended to superstar status throughout this finals, whereas Devin Booker receded to just star status, which is good, but it ain't superstar. So that's the thing at the end of the day you got to look at. So I think Lamar Jackson, he's going to take shit because A, he's a black quarterback. So they're going to have their issues about that. B, he's an athletic quarterback. So they're going to have issues about that. Now they're going to ding him because, people still think he's a bit of a choke artist. So we'll see what happens. If he takes this team to the AFC Championship next year, or maybe even the Super Bowl, then all them analysts who had an issue with it are going to have to shut the fuck up. That's for sure. All right, see here. Simon Section. Nice. I like this name. Simon Section says, and thank you, Simon. That's a very kind donation. Said, I enjoyed your Geek Buddies review of Loki episode 6. I don't know how you feel about Jonathan Majors playing Kang, a descendant of Reed Richards. I'm pretty sure not all of Thomas Jefferson's descendants look like Nick Nolte. That's a deep reference. Damn, what film is that he played? Jefferson in Paris. Right. I still got it. Yeah, Nick Nolte played Thomas Jefferson in a film called Jefferson in Paris. I think they had an actress play Sally Bowles. I can't remember who played the actress. Sorry, I can't remember who played Sally Bowles, but I think that's it. Jefferson in Paris was the one with Nick Nolte. So how do I feel about that? I don't think I have a problem with it. Are people having an issue with that? I mean, any number of reasons could be why. I mean, remember, he's a variant of a variant of a. So there's multiple Kangs of different times and different timelines. So nothing's to say that there isn't a Kang from an interracial marriage in one timeline. That's the Jonathan Majors Kang. So that's possible. Or he's the original Kang. So he's black, but maybe he, had sex with a white woman and they had a son and he married a white woman and there's Reed Richards. So you never know. Or Nathaniel Richards, I think it was. So you just never know how you're going to go about it. But I don't have a problem with it. I think Jonathan Majors is fantastic. He's an incredible actor, and he was great in episode 6. And he's an unusual actor. This is the thing that people need to understand about Jonathan Majors. He is not Carl Weathers. If we're going to look at black actors, he's not, who can you say? Just a standard good black actor. He is not that. Jonathan Majors is on a whole nother level as an actor, right? He is dancing with the most unusual rhythm actors like Joaquin Phoenix, like there's so many you can name that are just operating on a whole nother level. He sees his acting is like jazz, I guess, and great jazz, not that smooth jazz or that cheesy shit. Anything like his acting is like jazz. You've got to come to what he's doing. He's not going to come to he's not going to come to you to make it palatable and easy for you to consume. So when you're watching him, and just like jazz for most people, they don't really like jazz. They don't really go to jazz. They don't get it. But the people who get jazz and the people who get this style of acting, they love it. And they worship at the altar of it because it's authentic, it's unique, it's different. And if you could look inside yourself, how many black actors do you know that you can name that act like this? I think Lakeith Stanfield is another one. Lakeith Stanfield, to me, him and Jonathan Majors are changing the perception of what a black actor is, because we've always seen white actors have these avant-garde personalities as actors, and it really bleeds into the work they do and all that jazz. But we haven't really seen that with a lot of black actors, but we're seeing that now as more opportunities are there for black actors to step into positions, step into lead roles, step into major character roles like Kang is, and do their thing. And that's why you cast an actor like this, because you want him to be different and unusual and fantastic, and you want his talent to have a canvas to paint on. So I'm just saying. That's my 2 cents on that. And I think he is all of that for sure. Let's see here if we got any more Streamlabs or Super Chats. Let's see. He's the Charlie Parker in the body of an actor. Gavin, that's a great statement. Charlie Parker in the body of an actor. Yes, that's fantastic. 1,000% agree with you, my man. 1,000% agree with you. Let's see here. Have we got any more? Chris Taylor said, if Marvel follows the comics, Kang and Mr. Fantastic have a family connection. Yes. This got me thinking, how about John David Washington cast as Mr. Fantastic? Well, again, I think that's a great choice. John David Washington could be interesting for sure. He is coming up, as an actor. A lot of people liked his work in Tenet. Whether you like the movie or not, they liked his work. certainly Black Klansman, and then the one with the black and white one he did with Zendaya. I can't remember the name of that one, but it was on Netflix. So John David is building, but to me, it doesn't have to be a black actor. Like, they don't have to connect black to black. If they do it, I have no problem with that, but it doesn't have to connect up, and so to me, it's not necessarily a thing that they need to be working on now. All the Kangs have to be black. Like that's not going to work. Just like all the Lokis weren't white. We had the the boastful Loki. He was black. We had an alligator Loki. We had a young kid Loki who was British. So it's like you can have all different kinds of variants of Kangs, so it doesn't have to stay one color. That being said, we haven't seen a lot of black actors in these roles in the past. So if you were to go with a black Mr. Fantastic, I wouldn't have a problem with it. Just like I don't have a problem with a black Superman or a black Batman or a black, pretty much black any character. I don't have a problem with. You can even have black Wonder Woman. I wouldn't give a shit if it works. That's the thing. You have to make it work. Race is irrelevant to me. Can you make it work? Does it make sense? That's what's important. So if you're gonna put your nuts on the line or your guts on the line, and do something unusual, you got to make sure it works. Because if it doesn't, then you just wasted the opportunity to really make a difference or a change in people's perception of these characters and what they can do. So, let's see here. Have we got any more Streamlabs or super chats? No. So we'll keep them coming, ladies and gentlemen. Would appreciate having a good night tonight. So would love some support and donations here on the Streamlabs super chat side of things. As I said, the Outlaw Nation show is the flagpole show of the channel. So I like to do well on these nights. So they kind of influence all the other stuff that we do or make up for the other stuff that we do here as we build the channel more and more. So please, any donations you can send in, any support you can send in, any questions you want to ask about anything, I'm open to answer them. All right, let's move on to some Jeff Bezos conversation here. What is the deal with people's reaction to Jeff Bezos going to space? I think people legitimately have a gripe here that shouldn't this guy be handling the homelessness here in the world, in the country, people who are starving, problems with the housing, all this kind of stuff. And I get people's complaints because I agree. It would be nice if Jeff could use his money to kind of help the country, considering how shitty he treats his workers and how shitty some of those workers, the conditions they have to endure. 1,000% agree with that, especially for the pay they're getting paid. Reading an article about them having to pee in bottles and poop in bags and, all that kind of stuff. It's just like madness to look at. So it's unfortunate that this is the other side of it, that he goes off to space. I think it's incredibly insensitive. 1,000% agree with that. He didn't address any of this stuff. He's got a campaign to supposedly save the PR image of the Amazon worker. And you've seen those commercials. So I understand the gripe. Absolutely. But by the same token, the man earned his money. So the man can spend it as he damn well sees fit. And if he wants to go to space and he can afford to go to space, guess what? He's going to go to space. And that's his prerogative. Just because he's rich and just because there are problems he can solve doesn't mean he's not still a human being or even, if you want to get more provincial, an American who has every right to parlay his money that he has earned into a trip into space. Now it's up to Congress. It's up to the Senate. It's up to the House. It's up to the president. It's up to people in power to make Amazon pay their taxes, to find out how to get more money from Amazon, to really put them under the heel, and all of that. But if those senators and representatives don't have the guts to go after Amazon, to rattle the cage a little bit, to do anything, then, what are the options are there? Are you expecting a rich man to be like, what? I know I won every court case here, but maybe they're right. Maybe I need to, kind of listen to them and not go to space. No, he's going to do what he wants to do. Rich people operate on a whole nother wavelength, man, on a whole nother vibe. To them, they don't see us as, like equals or regular human. Like, they don't see us that way. They see most people as ants, as replaceable ants, that there's a 500,000 more coming. So they don't feel necessarily the need to cater to that. Is it right? No, of course not. But that's the reality. So for a majority of rich, right? There's probably a few who are humanitarians, philanthropists who really do care about their communities and are out there servicing their communities, are out there volunteering, out there doing stuff to really help their communities, donating to organizations that help to build communities, to help to repair buildings, repair schools, get better books, those kinds of things. Absolutely. But for most rich people, they see people who are not rich as just like a bunch of numbers on a ledger or just waves in an ocean, So it's the same. It's a shame. Yeah, J-Dog's absolutely correct. That's how billionaires stay billionaires, because they're very cheap with their money. They're always looking for angles to keep as much of their money as possible. That's how rich people get rich, The horrible, ugly truth is the people who do right rarely get rich. The people who cut the corners are willing to treat people in a negative fashion like he's treating his workers. Those are the people that make money in this country. For all the things that we talk about, how, there's a proper way to act and there's a good way to be. I think all of us believe that. But you'd be hard pressed to find a lot of rich people who adhere to that kind of stuff. They don't, They have the luxury. Now, does that mean if they're, for me, there is God, there is heaven. Does that mean when they go there, that God's like, well, I get it. You're rich. That's why you did all these things and used your money in this fashion and didn't use it to help the homeless or help people who are in trouble or help your community or build better roads, bridges, buildings, schools, what have you. That's a separate conversation. And I think that's where the reckoning really comes for that. But we don't really know how much Amazon has invested in charities, how much they've given to so many organizations who help communities. That's the other side of it. Like, what do we know about their donation history? I think that's important to explore before we want to set off and go after these people. So, Ludi Ferdinand, good to see you. Says, I don't have a problem with rich people going to space, but at least have a reason besides I just want to see it. I mean, I hear you, but don't we do that in a version of our own lives? Don't we go, why'd you drive to the Grand? There's no reason in the world to drive to the Grand Canyon or Mount Rushmore or Old Faithful. Zero. But you just want to go because you want to see it. That's what you can afford to do, right? It's comparable. It's relative. If you could afford to go to space, you would go to space just to see it, just to experience it, And Bezos has that kind of money to do that. I feel like, Ludi, if you had that kind of money, you might consider it. Because to you, space then becomes what the Grand Canyon is to you now. It's attainable. It's easy to get to. I can afford it. And then space stops becoming space. It starts to become space. Yeah, I'll go. And that's the thing, I think, when you look at billionaires, that's how they look at this. Anything they can actually afford with a lot of money left over is not that big of a deal. So, but I absolutely take your point for sure. Let's see here. I just want to see if we got any more Streamlabs and Super Chats that have come through. First of all, thank you, Luis Lopez, to subscribing to the channel. Yeah, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, that's another way you can help the channel too. Subscribe down below. Hit that red subscribe button. Hit the bell button as well so you know when we're dropping new content. We're so close to passing 17,300 subscribers. Let's keep going. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe to the channel. Reason I'm doing these trailer reactions and reviews, another reason I'm doing them is to attract new audiences to kind of look at my channel as a reactor channel, kind of look at my channel as a channel that also does reviews, also does all these kinds of things. So it's one of the reasons why I kind of put Impolite Truths on the side for now, because I really want to focus on the channel being an entertainment channel, pro wrestling, entertainment, film, television, and sports. So we'll see. But thank you, Luis Lopez. I appreciate it. And I hope if you haven't donated, who haven't subscribed, to the channel, please go down there and subscribe. All right, Mr. Torrance says, hey, John, I just wanted to say your breakdown/review of the MCU shows, Loki especially, has been a joy to watch. Thank you very much, Mr. Torrance. The format you made is awesome, so thank you very much. Have you seen Bone Tomahawk? I showed it to my unsuspecting mom. Yeah, yes, of course I've seen Bone Tomahawk. Oh, that scene will live in infamy in my brain, like the ankling scene from Misery. I will never forget that scene in Bone Tomahawk. I literally screamed in horror and shoved a fist in my mouth. Like it was just, I was like, oh, like I was going insane at what I saw. Your poor mom. How you do? Why would you do that to your poor mom? For God's sakes. So very funny. But thank you very much for the. Sorry, y'all. Thank you very much for the compliment on the Loki videos. Yeah, we worked really hard on those MCU videos. We've worked really hard. I mean, I'm very, very hard on myself about those reviews because I want to get everything right. So I'm very clear when I'm watching the shows. I watch the episode for my own enjoyment the first time. Then the second time I watch and I make notes about the big moments through each and how they're connected. And then I cut them up into what I think will be sections of conversation and good logical places to stop. Now, sometimes with time constraints, because we're all four of us or all five of us have busy lives, I have to shove more action into a section than I wanted to. But that's just, now at this point, it's a matter of convenience. And so I can do it, So thank you very much. We've appreciated the love we got for WandaVision was incredible, and the love we're getting for Loki's been fantastic. Our Bad Batch reviews aren't doing that great, but I don't think anybody's is. It's Bad Batch. Not as many people are into it. But the What If stuff, we'll be curious to see if people gravitate to What If. It's an animated show, which already means it's less people who are going to watch it, and we'll see if people are going to be interested in a review. But we're going to do it, certainly, and hopefully Emma can come back to be our fourth for that as well. But thank you very much, Mr. Torrance. I appreciate it. Christine, what's up, Christine? Hi, John. Friday would be my birthday. Hey, happy early birthday to you, Christine. And I'll be spending it at home watching Ted Lasso and the opening ceremony as Sydney enters its 5th week of lockdown. Here's hoping for season 2 reviews from yourself and Shannon. Thanks again for the good vibes. Oh, definitely, Christine. I've had the first 6 episodes sitting in my Apple TV subscription, but I haven't had a chance to watch them. Thursday is when I will watch them, and hopefully I can convince Shannon to do a review with me, at least of the first, whatever episodes they drop on Friday. Hopefully Shannon and I can do a review, and we'll drop that review on Saturday. So I will try to lasso him down for that. No pun intended. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm so excited for so many people to be nominated from that show. Brendan Hunt, who plays Coach Beard, that's a guy that me, Mike, and Shannon knew for years. He is friends with our friend Vicky Kelleher and our other friend Kay Cannon, who of course is the director who's got Cinderella coming out on August 3rd. So it was they all came from the Leslie Kahn studio there in LA. A lot of talented people came out of that studio who are successful and doing stuff now. So I'm so happy for Brendan and seeing him on a meteoric rise to success, kind of crazy. You can literally, it's one of those stories of, I remember when, I used to show up to group functions there and have fun with everybody because of knowing Vicky. And I would meet Brendan every once in a while. Interesting guy. He used to have a Elvis show that he would do around town. Elvis Schmelvis or something like that. It was called something like that. And he'd perform at different bars. Very funny stuff. So he was always writing, always performing. A very good comedian. So I'm very happy for him. And of course, happy for everybody involved in Ted Lasso as a American going over to a British soccer team, football team. That to me is just that's Rocha all over. So I'm very proud of that show. And I'm very happy that show is successful as it is, because I was one of the first people to champion it when everyone was like, I don't want to watch a show about soccer. A lot of these critics were like, I don't want to watch a show about football. I don't get it. It's a sports comedy. I'm not into it. They came around, and all of a sudden they're all massive fans. They're all put hashtags on their Twitter accounts now, all in love with Ted Lasso when they resisted it. But you got to let go of that because that's the indie band approach to it. It was my indie band and now everybody loves them. You got to let go of that and be happy that the world recognizes the greatness of Ted Lasso. It was heartbreaking to see the premiere the other night and I wasn't there. And I think if I'd been living in LA, I would have made a more concerted effort to try to get invited to that. because I do love that show. I would have sent my reviews. I would have sent them everything to try to convince Apple TV to invite me. So, but we'll see in the future. You never know. You never say never. Thank you, Carol. Appreciate it. Or thank you, Christine, rather. Appreciate it. Carol says, I had to send in another one. Thank you, Carol. I don't know what pains me the most. You keep thinking I'm a male. Sorry, Carol. Or the fact that you said last week you hated the movie Clue. On second thought, it's definitely the Clue comment. LOL. It was like a stab in the heart. Sorry, Carol. Sorry. When I see the K spelling of Carol, I think immediately of Eastern European spelling of Carol for men. So my apologies, Carol. You are a woman. Keep reminding me. Keep reminding me. Yeah, Clue. I'm sorry. It just doesn't. I've been one of those people that it's just one of those movies that I just don't think is as funny as other people do. It's got that waspish humor that I don't always gravitate to. You know, that I'm cleverer than you kind of humor. We're all in on the joke kind of humor. And it doesn't, like, I don't 100% gravitate to that kind of humor. It's not because it's intelligent somehow and I'm missing it. It's more that it's so inside baseball that to me, I just don't 100% gravitate to it. And it's unfortunate because I know a lot of my friends love that movie. They love that movie. So it just, for whatever reason, I just find it kind of boring. I don't laugh. I mean, my friends, I remember there was a couple of years ago, 3 or 4 years ago, my friend Shannon and my friend Eric Norris and his wife Rachel, they invited me over to their house and they set up a because I'd never seen it. They set up a thing for me to sit down, like an area. They had printed out a bunch of copies of my headshot and put it there, reserved it for me, which I thought was really funny. And I sat there and watched Clue with them, and I wanted to experience it through their eyes, right? Because I had seen it before. I hadn't seen it in a long time, I guess. It's a clarification. So I sat there with them and I watched it. I was like, yeah, I just don't get why people love it so much. But by the same token, I would never say that you shouldn't love it so much. If it's what makes you laugh, who gives a shit what anyone else has to say? Enjoy it. Have fun with it. So thank you, Carol, for that. And you are a woman. You are a woman. Or as was it Lisa Stansfield? Is it Lisa Stansfield? Was that her name? She used to say, you're all woman. All right, Simon Section here. Oh, let me bring it up. It's a super chat. Simon Section. Where are you? Let's see here. Oh, yeah, here it goes. I would prefer John David Washington to play Black Panther if Marvel Studios would recast T'Challa. Chadwick Boseman said that if it wasn't for Denzel, there wouldn't be a Black Panther. I think that's fair. I don't think John David is the one that's going to play Black Panther, although I do appreciate your desire to see that, Simon Section. I could see him playing it. Certainly, I'm sure he could master that accent and the look and feel of Black Panther. But I don't know if John David necessarily has the gravitas that Chadwick Boseman had to play Black Panther. And maybe you're saying, well, he doesn't have to. It's a new Panther. It could be any kind of interpretation. Totally valid. But I think if they're going to replace Chadwick, it's going to be someone with a bit more weight to them and a bit more nobleness or regalness to them. And not that John David doesn't have the ability to turn that on. I think they want to find someone whose natural essence is that, just like Chadwick's was. Do you watch the behind the scenes with Chadwick? Like, even behind the scenes, when people are dancing and goofing around, Chadwick's very serious. Now, it could have been the cancer. Certainly it could have been him struggling with that. So he doesn't waste his waste movements or waste emotions or waste energy indulging in that kind of stuff. But most of the time when you see gag reels from Black Panther or any deleted scenes from any of the Marvel movies that have Black Panther in them, you rarely see Chadwick acting the fool or goofing around or whatever. Like, he's very clearly focused on what he's creating and staying in that vibe, staying in that energy so he can draw on it for when he has to do his scenes. So that's the kind of actor you got to find. And I know that person's out there. A lot of people, including me, have been saying, like, bring back Michael B. Jordan. If they mess around with multiverses, couldn't you bring a Black Panther from another universe into this universe? Couldn't it be, instead of he becoming Killmonger, he became Black Panther, a good Black Panther, and then that way you kind of solve the problem. I think Michael B. would be great, but I don't know what route they're going to go, to be honest with you. And I'm sure we're going to find out once the clues leak about that film. I'm sure we're all going to find out what the deal is for sure. Okay, let's see here. Josh Mabry says, my friends keep raving about Yellowstone. As the Outlaw, I figured you've watched it. That I have, and have talked about it. How does it stack up like a Deadwood or Justified when it comes to Western style shows? Okay, this is a great question. I've been waiting to talk about Yellowstone for a long time. So Josh Mabry, thank you very much. I'm going to take a sip of my iced tea first. And I'm going to tell you my truth. You may not like it. So here's the deal. Deadwood is classic. Deadwood is The Sopranos, The Wire, Breaking Bad. That's what Deadwood is. Okay? Justified is just a notch below. Justified is The Shield, Better Call Saul. These other type of shows that are not quite as good, but damn good. Yellowstone is Dallas. Yellowstone is Falcon Crest. Yellowstone is Downton Abbey. Yellowstone is... What else would be a good connection to Yellowstone? Yeah. And by that, I mean, the first season I thought was good. The second season is when it started to become real schmaltzy. And the thing is, it becomes a soap opera, whereas Deadwood is Shakespeare. That's it. Deadwood is Shakespeare. Yellowstone is like Neil Simon, still good, certainly funny, brilliantly written Neil Simon stuff, but popular. And I think Yellowstone is that. I mean, the actress from Sherlock Holmes who plays Kelly Riley, I think her name is, she's a damn good actress, but on that show, the whole I'm a sassy, I'm in charge of everything, and everything just works out for me attitude. There's no depth to that, in my opinion. Oh, you treated me badly when I was a kid. Oh, then you have the prodigal son guy who's married to the Native American woman. I like him. But then you cast someone like Wes Bentley and you turn him into a bitch. And Wes Bentley's not a bitch. Like, Wes Bentley's a damn good actor. Give him some levels. But he's your whipping boy. He's Kevin Costner's whipping boy. He's Kelly Riley's whipping boy. He's Cole Hauser's whipping boy. And Costner, who I love to pieces, regardless of his arrogance or ego, which, by the way, is the reason why he's successful, ladies and gentlemen, because he believed in himself that much. I think he indulges in the soap opera aspect of Yellowstone too much, in my opinion. And so it becomes a soap opera. And if you like late night evening soap operas, then you're going to like Yellowstone. But don't go looking for weighty stuff in Yellowstone like Justified or Deadwood. You're not going to find it. Because everything always works out for Kevin Costner, no matter what. It always works out for his character. It's fucking Entourage. It's fucking Ballers. Silicon Valley in an hour format with Kevin Costner as the lead. That's what it is. And so it becomes super frustrating for me who love Westerns. I love Westerns. I love Taylor Sheridan. But during the second season, I was like, this is just schmaltzy. And everyone seems to kind of make the one mistake, but Costner never makes that mistake. He always seems to come out on top. And it's like, at some point, it's like, I don't want to see somebody who's always winning. Like, it's fucking boring. And there's no cost or consequences to what he does. That's a soap opera. And so I don't want to see that, So I stopped near the end of the second season. I was like, I don't care what happens here. And I know people fall all over themselves, Yeah, it's the Big Bang Theory of 1 hour shows, of dramas, of Western drama, 1 hour Western dramas. It's the Big Bang Theory of 1 hour Western dramas, right? That's my overall opinion on Josh. Which is why I haven't, done a knee-deep dive into it, because I'll just sit there and criticize it the whole time. And I will tear it apart, because I can tear it apart. But I don't really want to do that. But give it the first season though, Josh. I would never tell you not to watch it. I would say watch the first season, then see if those things that I'm talking about start to rub you the wrong way in the second season. And if they do, it doesn't get much better from there. So, but I like that you've got Native American actors. I like that you've got Native American issues that are being talked about. I like that Frank Grillo's wife, I forget the actress's name, she's in it. She's fantastic. So everybody in there is acting well. Like Cole Hauser is good. Wes Bentley, Kelly Riley, Costner, everybody involved. And Anthony Michael Hall's in the second season as he's part of the two brothers who own some oil or some stock, some business or whatever they want to take. They want to go up against Costner. And of course, spoiler alert, they lose. So it's there, the acting part of it. But I just think the scripts are a bit cheesy and schmaltzy at times. So that's my overall opinion on it, brother. Let's see here. Dabney Coleman as his dad. Yeah, Yellowstone is Riverdale. No, because Riverdale is kind of inventive. So yeah, Josh Mabry said, I've heard the Dallas comparison. Yes. Doug says Deadwood curses too much. I can't believe they say the word fuck that many times. Am I weird to be annoyed by that? Yes, bro, because they did actually say fuck that many times back in that time. And they cussed a lot back in those times. Because those are hard scrabble times, Doug, and people literally are pooping in a wooden hole in the ground, man. They're eating food that can kill them at any time. They're living hard scrabble lives, so they're not going to be the nicest people. Do you know what I'm saying? So I'm just saying that's why it's a lot of the cussing is part of it. Yeah. All right. So Yellowstone is Riverdale. Yellowstone is Teen Wolf. Haskell, who's up on the East Coast, he says, I love Yellowstone. Whoa, hold on. LOL. Totally disagree. First, the Shield's elite tier and up there with the best finales of all time. No, because Vic gets away. He always fucking gets away with it, dude. That can't be a good show. In Deadwood, Swearingen got totally confronted by Bullock and had to change his ways. Bullock had to change his ways because of Anna Gunn coming in and kind of calling his ass out. See, that's what you want to see. The great shows change their characters because of people that come into their lives. The good shows have great characters that never change, really. Vic never changed on The Shield. He was a corrupt asshole from the first episode to the last episode. There is no arc. Did Michael Chiklis do an incredible job with the show? Fuck yes. But in my opinion, there's no arc. Goggins, is he great on the show? Yes. But there's no arc. With Oliphant and Justified, there's an arc. Let's see. Haskell says, oh my God, you missed so much. And then Fast Bowler says, really? I thought Taylor Sheridan would do much better. I don't know. It's like I said, Haskell is one of those people that likes it. So there are people who worship at the altar of Yellowstone. Shannon, I think, is a fan of Yellowstone from the Geek Buddies. So, it just wasn't for me halfway through. I mean, every time Kelly Riley was just like, yeah, I rule the world here. I just was like so fucking turned off by that, man. Because you got to give your characters, whether they're male or female, I don't give a fuck about gender. You got to give your characters vulnerabilities. And she never seemed to have any. She was always in the right. She was always castigating everybody around her. And she was always using Wes Bentley as her bitch. And so to me, it's like, why am I supposed to care about this person? Cole Hauser is interesting. He's a complex character because he does some terrible shit, but then he also treats Wes Bentley like a bitch. He also treats Costner's favorite son, that prodigal son who married the Native American woman, treats him like crap sometimes, and they get into battles. So, yeah. Jeremy says, I enjoy the drama, but I agree about the stakes with Costner in particular. Yeah. Cheryl says she couldn't get past episode 1 of Deadwood. Well, you need to get through that first season. Like Deadwood grows on you as the characters come along. As Robin Weigert as Calamity Jane fleshes out after Wild Bill, who is played by Keith Carradine, I think. is killed, she becomes a stronger part of the show. Kim Dickens becomes a stronger part of the show. There's a lesbian storyline that pops up in the show that's really powerful. Jerry Jewell is a part of the show. I think it's Jerry Jewell. I think that's her name. She works for Swearingen. How Swearingen changes throughout the 3 seasons is incredible. And Gerald McRaney coming in as William Randolph Hearst in that 3rd season. Sweet Mary, Mother of God. Or right? It's William Randolph, or is it J.P. Morgan? I forget who he is, but I think he's William Randolph Hearst. It's incredible. And yes, I know Jeffrey Jones is in it after all that shit with Jeffrey Jones. It's a shame. But Brad Dourif is stellar in the show. And Anna Gunn is it Anna Gunn? Yeah, I think Anna Gunn from Breaking Bad. She's incredible. And John Hawkes, of course. Craig would kill me if I didn't mention John Hawkes, who is stellar in Deadwood. Yeah, it is live, Billy Atwood. Why? What do you got, Billy? You got something you want to ask? It's live, buddy. It's the Outlaw Nation show. It's always live. Filth in Florida. Filth. Haskell says season 3 of Yellowstone was fantastic. What's the finale? Did Costner win again? What's the finale? Let's see. It just says, he's still up on the East Coast, 1:15 a.m. Don't care. Enjoying the show. Thank you, man. Yeah, Sarah Thomas is up. What's up, Sarah? How are you? From the East Coast. Yeah, see, Haskell responds says, yes, John, yes. Vic got away per se, but lost everything. He lost his family, friend's job, and out in purgatory behind a desk. Yes, but he still got away with it. He still got away with everything. And he didn't really care about his family and friends and job if he was constantly putting him in jeopardy by doing the shit he was doing. He couldn't have possibly cared for them as much as he cared for himself. And that's what I didn't like about it, man. Him losing everything was the minimum punishment you could deliver to Vic for the shit he pulled through those seasons of The Shield. That's the minimum punishment. Yeah, NYPD Blue. Chris Taylor said, I love it. Look, NYPD Blue is my favorite fucking series, bar none. Like, bar none. Up until Schroeder dies. Everything up until Ricky Schroeder dies is incredible television. That first season with first season with Caruso is fucking beautiful television. And they remastered them in HD, but they have yet to release them, I think, in Blu-ray 4K with the HD remasters. I've seen them on TV remastered. They're gorgeous. But the first season of NYPD Blue was groundbreaking. You all may not remember, but the shit you see now in NYPD Blue, they didn't do that on television. They didn't do that. They broke so much ground on that show. People forget because they weren't there. I lived through it, and it was the greatest. It's number one for me. I mean, of course, Sopranos, Wire, all of that is up there objectively, right? But my personal number one is NYPD Blue. Personal. Once Schroeder dies and he's wrapped up in that carpet, the show brings in, I think, Mark Paul Gosselaar, and it never hits the heights again, in my opinion. Even with Esai Morales when he came on, it just never does. And then they did what they did with Sharon Lawrence and then Charlotte Ross. Like, it just never got to where it was going. Bonnie was great on the show. I loved Bonnie on the show. Jacqueline Obradors, who's in Bosch. She was great on the show. But yeah, after that, it just became ridiculous. But the first few seasons of NYPD Blue, I will put that up against any seasons of any show. Caruso to fucking Jimmy Smits, and the way Jimmy Smits dies, fuck off. That's incredible television. And Dennis Franz, I think Dennis Franz realized when NYPD Blue, he's like, I'm never going to top this. I'm never going to top this. I retire. One of my goals in life is to get an interview with Dennis Franz and just talk about his experience, like for 2 hours, to somehow woo him into talking to me for 2 hours about NYPD Blue or about his career, about his life, and just have fun conversation with him. Like a couple of fucking guys with cigars and an endless supply of beers or mixed drinks or whatever he wants, and just shoot the shit about the show on mics. That would be a phenomenal get for me. So who knows? Who can say? Let's see here. What else have we got coming through? Scott. Oh, Fred says, I'm with you on Clue. It wasn't for me. Just like it's a mad world. More power to them, though. How dare you? How fucking dare you, Fred? It's a mad world is a fucking classic. and I'll not hear you denigrate or even remotely compare it to fucking Clue. It's not even in the, it's not in the ball. It's not even not in the ballpark. It's not in the motherfucking planet as the same planet as It's a Mad, Mad, Mad World. Okay. Clue's on a whole other planet, a smaller, way out there Pluto planet in comparison to It's a Mad, 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 Mad World. Just the level of comedians in It's a Mad, Mad, Mad World absolutely demolishes the comedians that you have in Clue. It's not even in the same conversation. I'm sorry that you don't feel that way, Fred. I'm sorry your heart is broken in that way. I apologize that your heart is broken. Scott Welsh says, hey, Rocha, have you watched McCartney 321? It's a one-on-one doc. Yes, with Macca and producer Rick Rubin. It popped up when I opened Disney Plus the other day, but I've yet to watch it. It's a Star original, so it might be on Hulu for you in the States. Yes, it is in Hulu. It dropped today or yesterday, all 6 episodes. I couldn't fucking believe all 6. Dude, this week is nuts because you got Ted Lasso, you got Schmoedown, you got the movies that are coming out this week. I am so swamped that I'm waiting for the right time to watch that. And I may watch them on Sunday. I may tell the love of my life to be like, babes, Sunday, I'm going to be sitting in my office watching this documentary because I want to do a review of it and I want to watch them back to back to back. Paul McCartney and Rick Rubin talking about his career and the Beatles and all this stuff. Like, fuck, man. It's when I saw it this morning, because I stumbled upon it on Hulu this morning. I had no idea it was out already. I was like, God damn it. And the thing is, you know what's funny? I didn't get early access to those, but I got to figure out how I can get more early access to Hulu stuff because Amazon Prime sends me all their stuff early access. I've already seen the first 7 episodes of Making the Cut season 2. Seen them all. My lady and I, we ripped through them in 2 days. It's a phenomenal season. If you're not watching Making the Cut, that is an incredible reality show. It's even better this season. The COVID situation when they shot it forced the production value to increase for the show, and the ramifications that they had to endure to create the show and to do the fashion stuff, all of that. It's such a high bar that you're just like, you're constantly on pins and needles watching the show. It's so good. I can't recommend it enough. If you're into reality shows that are competitive, Heidi Klum and Tim Gunn are so good on this show. And the contestants this season are so interesting from from different countries and different walks of life, different levels of experience. It's such a fun watch. They only issued the first 7 episodes. They haven't issued the final episode yet. So as a person in the press, I'm going insane that I can't watch the 8th episode because I don't know who wins. So that's what I would say there. But yes, thank you, Scott. I appreciate it. I'm absolutely going to watch it, brother. I'm absolutely going to watch it. Bill Lyons donated. Thank you, Bill. He says, love Geek Buddies. Oh, thank you, Bill. I appreciate that madly. It's very kind of you, man. Chris Taylor says, here's an idea. You, Aaron Turner, and Jay Washington review the upcoming show Heels with a Geek Buddy style. Hey, that's possible. I might be able to convince Jay to do it. I know Aaron will do it. I might have to convince Jay to do it, but maybe. I mean, Jay's been working so much and auditioning and all this kind of stuff. It was tough to keep it coming back on Mondays on Game Time. If you guys haven't noticed that's why Winston A is working on that Citizen app. So he can't be on Game Time anymore on Mondays until right around football time, NFL time. And Jay's been so busy booking stuff and doing stuff. Like it was just at some point it was just too much because Jay would come on the show and he was just like, really exhausted or super into a bad mental space because he's really trying to figure everything out. And I just didn't want to keep putting the show on him in that way. So I asked them both to, okay, let's just you guys chill out. JT and I will handle it up until NFL. And then when NFL hits, we'll bring everybody back and have some fun talking the games, which will be a blast. So, but thank you for the suggestion, Chris. Certainly Aaron and I will probably jump on top of that and do it. So we shall see. Let's see. We had a super chat come through. I'm trying to find it here. Is it from Scott? Yeah, Simon Section. Sorry. Simon Section says, apologies, Mr. Rocha. I tried watching Deadwood, but I was put off by Ian McShane monologue scenes when he's getting his knob polished. I felt sorry for the actress. Simon, okay. So I hear you. I understand. I feel you, as the kids like to say. I feel you. But you're watching a master actor at work. And I will say this. I understand some people not liking Deadwood because it is David Milch writing these monologues. David Milch David Milch is like, again, I make the comparison. David Milch is jazz. The way he writes is jazz. The last season or so of the show, I don't know if you guys know this, he apparently would come to the set, lie on the ground, and compose the scenes from his head, the dialogue, and he had an assistant who would write everything down and then hand the pages off to the actors. So they would be literally acting right after he'd written the scene. Some actors loved it. Others actors absolutely hated it. When you watch the behind the scenes, they'll tell you the set was super tense all the time because a good portion of the actors didn't like that style. But Milch was the showrunner, so if they wanted to be on the show, they had to kind of adhere to his way of doing things. You know, and I think now he has dementia or Alzheimer's or something, and it's, you know, his brain is so intense, it could have been something that led to where he's at now, brain-wise, and it's a shame. But he composed some incredible episodes in Deadwood, and yes, you've got to want to see these characters opine or monologue or whatever. That's got to be a style of show that you enjoy, and if you don't, you're not gonna like Deadwood. Deadwood is Perrier. It's an acquired taste. It is not something that you walk into and go, oh yeah, I'll watch this right after Big Bang Theory. No, it's just not. It's a completely other type of show that asks you to come to it. Like I said, like it's Shakespeare. A lot of people go see Shakespeare and like, oh, I don't fucking get it. But in fact, it's made for you. If you could understand how to get into Shakespeare, you'll fucking love it. You know, I used to think it was highfalutin. I took it when I studied in London. I had a teacher who sat me down and she said, I see what you're doing and it's totally wrong. Shakespeare is blood and guts and barbed wire and broken glass and dirt in your stomach. He wrote it for the lower classes. It's other people like John Gielgud who've turned it into some kind of highfalutin shit. At its base level, it's about, majority of the stories are about lower classes. And yes, you have King Henry and all that stuff and what have you. But look at Macbeth. Macbeth is a ambitious, driven son of a bitch with a wife who is pushing him to reach this ambition because he doesn't have the guts to do it himself. And then what that price pays for them, what the price is they have to pay for that. It doesn't matter that he becomes a king. That's not it. He's a grunt. He's a grunt, you know. So Hamlet, same thing. Hamlet's a little bitch crying about his daddy because he's dealing with the grief of the loss of his father. And when he finds his father's murdered, it sends him into a deeper spiral of depression and mental health issues. And nothing can solve that until the end. And, everything he's a rock that everybody crashes onto until the end. These are like, when you understand these situations and these plays and how Shakespeare approaches, same thing with Milch. Milch did also MIPD Blue. So a lot of it may just be that his style was something that really worked for me, Simon. So that's what I'll say. But thank you very much, Simon, for the super chat. Appreciate it, brother, man. Doug Developer says, how many episodes do you give a new series for it to, quote, hook you? For me, it's 3. My apologies, because I know you love hacks, but after the end of the 3rd episode, when she looked at old footage of Gene Smart, I'm still not sold yet. Oh, my God, Doug, what the fuck? This is fantastic. This is maybe one of the best seasons of television in the last 20 to 30 years, man. What are you talking about? Like her looking at that, you're not supposed to like these people necessarily, Doug. They're comedians. A lot of stand-up comedians are not necessarily likable people, man. They're dealing with putting their shit on a stage for other people to laugh at. That's legitimately a very difficult profession to master. Mark Ellis is not the standard comedian. Mark Ellis is the anomaly. He's the Jerry Seinfeld. You know, he comes from a good home. He comes from a happy home. Yes, he lost his father just as I did. And that has, kind of shaped his life. But overall, Mark's one of the most liked guys in the world. He's one of the nicest guys in the world. So whatever his demons may be, they're not like demons like you see for other comics or most comics who are working shit out on stage. So Hacks is so unique because it's 2 women from 2 completely different generations approaching comedy, a male-dominated career, and having this relationship develop, and their worst parts of themselves come out as they work towards this friendship. And I think it's brilliant. And if her watching her old footage is the first crack in the relationship coming together. It's, because in the first 2-3 episodes, they're at odds with each other most of the time. When she watches the footage, it is the old school comedian making the young school comedian do some work and understand the history of what this woman had to endure and create and make in order to achieve the level of success that she's at. So, the young people go, oh, dinosaur, dinosaur, dinosaur. But they don't fucking understand how much work went into creating a status, a popularity, a celebrity, a talent, and then maintaining that talent for years. The young ones come in and think they're all going to be fucking successful for decades. Bullshit. It doesn't happen. Some, yes. And then eventually they become the dinosaurs for the young. And it's a circle of life type of thing. And so that's what you discover as the show goes along. Trust me, as the show goes along, you discover the flaws in both of them. So in humanizing them, you eventually understand they're coming together as friends and as a pseudo mother and daughter, which I think is incredible. So, but I'm sorry you don't like it, Doug. It's so fucking good. Let's see here. What else have we got? Josh Mabry. So let me see here. Josh, I know your next one up here as I swing down. Okay, so Josh says, so is Costner's character like Bobby Axelrod? Although Axe also seems to sacrifice family relationships just to stay on top, so not everything comes out roses. It's a good question here. Let me do some quick research. Oh, Billions. I don't watch Billions, my man. I have not seen Billions. So I know a lot of people tell me to watch Billions. Ooh. Tricky little light of mine. Sorry about that. Yeah, a lot of people tell me to watch Billions. I haven't seen Billions. I haven't watched Billions. And I love Damian Lewis and I love Paul Giamatti. And I know Becky Lynch was on an episode. So at some point I'm going to watch this show. But I also have to watch Succession. I haven't seen Succession either. And a lot of people love Succession. I saw the first episode of Succession. I haven't moved past that. But Billions at some point we'll get a watch. And maybe I'll convince Lindley to give it an episode, one episode. And if she likes it, then maybe we'll go forward with it. That'll be our new thing. Right now we're caught up watching Professor T, which is this awesome Belgian detective show where the guy is not a detective. He's a professor of criminology, but one of his former students is a detective, and they solve crimes along with the other detective who's the partner of the young woman. And it's dramatic and funny at the same time. It's incredible. It's not the British. I know the British remake is up now on ITV, and the first episode is up on PBS. This is the original, and it's on Amazon Prime. And if you can deal with subtitles, trust me, this is a fucking good show. So that's where we're at right now. But at some point, we'll see. But you say Axe also seems to sacrifice family just to stay on top, so not everything comes out roses. Yeah, depends. Yeah. But I don't know if Costner's sacrificing family because he keeps saying what he's doing is for his family. So I don't know if the comparison's apt until I watch Billions, Josh, but maybe. Let's see here. Let's see what else we got rolling through. Charles A. What's up, Charles? Says, what's your opinion on the movies Blood In, Blood Out? American Me and Mi Familia. Also, have you heard about the BTS stuff from American Me? Tragic. No. What are we supposed to know about American Me? Let me know. First of all, Blood In, Blood Out is a goddamn guilty pleasure classic, man. That is a Latino guilty pleasure classic. Okay? You got Damian Chapa, who is half white, half Mexican in this damn show. He was a soap opera actor, and they put him as the pseudo lead of the film. Benjamin Bratt in this film, as well as a former gangbanger, becomes a cop. His younger brother becomes a gangbanger to idolize Benjamin Bratt, but then when Benjamin Bratt becomes a cop, they are at odds for the rest of the movie. I think Delroy Lindo's in that movie as well. But it is a fucking classic guilty pleasure movie of the Latino community. American Me, I think, was almost trying to reach Edward James, almost trying to reach classic status in telling a story about gangs, about Latino gangs. But you cast William Forsythe as a Latino gang member, and I'm like, but I think it came close to being a damn good movie. and it didn't quite get there, even though there are some graphic moments in the movie. Overall, I don't think it got to where it was trying to get to, which is kind of like a pseudo Godfather approach, and it didn't quite get there. So, but I still, whenever I watch it, I don't not like it. It's just not a great movie, but it's a watchable movie. Mi Familia I've never seen, so I don't know about that one. Let me look it up real quick. Mi Familia. Don't see the Poppy one, whatever the fucking Poppy one is. Search for Poppy or whatever the one. Oh, that was horrible. My Family. Oh, yeah, the one with Jimmy Smits. Yeah, Isai Morales, almost. A man makes his way from Mexico to LA and then gets married. There's a big family there. The movie follows the children until they too get married, have children in the 1960s. No, I've never seen My Family, Mi Familia. Maybe I should watch this. Yeah, it's Jacob Vargas. Yeah. Lopez is in this as a young Maria. Oh my God, that's a 5-pointer. That'd be a great fucking 5-pointer. Constance Marie. Yeah, Constance Marie is fantastic. Benito Martinez is in this. Oh my God, as a young Paco. That'd be kind of funny. And Gregory Nava did this. Constance Marie, who is the wife on the George Lopez show. She's fucking great and beautiful as hell. Gregory Nava, didn't he direct El Norte? Yeah. You guys want to watch a film that will decimate you? You know, Justin Toner, if you're still watching, if you don't have El Norte on Criterion, you're missing out, Pally. That film will destroy you. As the son of immigrants, El Norte, I remember watching in the theater at Florida State, and I was sitting there on campus, on campus. I was sitting there by myself up in the upper row, it's all one row, like it's all one area like that, but and I was just crying. It is such a heartbreaking film. And I think you should show this to every fucking person who has an issue with immigrants. Show this fucking film and show them what the real story is, what the real struggles are, what people go through to get to this country, or at least at that time. So great stuff from Gregory Nava there. He also did Selena, of course. Why Do Fools Fall in Love, which is that the Frankie Lyman one? Yeah, Frankie Lyman one, which is supposed to be really, really good. And then also Border Town, which I think is also Lopez as well, if I remember correctly. Yeah, Jennifer Lopez and Martin Sheen. Border Town. So yeah, great stuff from Gregory Nava, but My Family I've not seen. All right, I'll put that on my list. I feel like I'm going to have more time in the future to watch movies. Oh, he also did a film called Time of Destiny with William Hurt, Timothy Hutton, Melissa Leo, Stockard Channing. Interesting. All white film. All right. So thanks, Charles. I appreciate it. I don't know the behind the scenes stuff, so let me know what the behind the scenes stuff is. I'm curious to know. American Me had a scene that had the main guy from the Mexican Mafia get raped. He did not like that and had the people murdered. Really? What? Get out of here. Is that true? Fast bowler Danny Trejo talked about how almost was scared of retribution. Really? Charles, where did you find that? If you could send me a link to that, I would absolutely watch that, man. 1982, Fast Bowler, El Norte. El Norte is a classic, fucking classic. People don't talk about that film while they're falling all over themselves for other Criterion films. They never talk about El Norte, and they need to. Yeah, Charles, send me the link to that at some point. No, Jesse, I started at 9. You go to bed, Jesse. Don't you have matches you need to study for, Jesse Swift? Don't be fucking with a 4-time champion, kid. Go win one belt. Sean, I'm sorry. You had to hear that. I'm sorry. Sorry, Jesse. I like Jesse. He's a good kid. He talks too much, shoots his mouth off too much, but I like Jesse. Let's see here. Where are we at right now? Here's another unit. Okay. Doug Developer. Yeah, okay. Gotcha. Josh Mabry. Gotcha. Justin Toner. Need to finish out Bosch and watch the final season. Love that show. Did you hear they're doing a spinoff with Bosch as a PI now on IMDb TV? They're filming it now. Saw Titus Welliver post about it on Twitter. Of course he did. Well, you might as well. I guess watch the final season, but if you're seeing that, you see the ending of the final season. So, all right, Justin, but it's a good season. It was a damn good season. It was one of the best seasons of the show. because four, 5, and 6 were kind of like, okay, I'll watch them. 1, 2, and 3 were stellar. 4, 5, and 6 are just kind of a little bit living on fumes. And that daughter of his, who's apparently a Mensa person, it was ridiculous how much they, what they did with her. It was nuts. It was so frustrating to watch that in Bosch because it was so unbelievable, but you had to kind of accept it, So, plus she's not the most interesting actress in my opinion, but that's me. Let's see here. We got a couple other super chats that have come through. Let's see here. Yeah, Simon Section says, I agree with you about it's a mad, 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 mad world. The line ugly on ape still cracks me up. Yes. That's a damn good film. If you haven't seen It's a Mad, Mad World, we'll do yourself a favor. Oh, Video Drew's in here? What's up, Video Drew? Que pasa, chica? Ugh, I miss screeners. Hi, Video. What's up? She's probably moved on by now, but what's up? I didn't know you were in here. Sorry. Let's see here. Charles A says, gracias por todo lo que haces y felicidades con lo de Rotten Tomatoes. Yes. Is watching movies hard because you don't live in LA anymore? No, not really. No, because I've been getting, they do screenings down here in San Diego. There is a strong film critics contingent, the strong contingent of film critics down here in San Diego. So not at all. And the Scott Menzel, the guy who runs Hollywood Critics Association, a very kind person, my friend, he suggested this publicity company to me. I reached out to them, and apparently the guy I reached out to, who was one of the members of, had been waiting for me to reach out to him since I moved to San Diego because he's a huge Outlaw fan of the Schmoedown, and he was a huge fan of me on SCN and on Collider. So he has been incredible. His name's Eddie Lopez. He's been incredible at hooking me up with screenings, hooking me up with stuff. And even the giveaways that I'm doing right now for the Snake Eyes, the 5 pairs of tickets, he reached out to me. He's like, dude, people loved what you did for Fear Street on the Netflix side of things. Can we do another giveaway? And so, yeah, hell yeah. So, they've been really good to me down here. So to me, not much has changed, except I don't see my friends when I go see the movies. When I go see the screenings, I don't see Bibiani or Christian or, Scott Mance or Roth or Sasha Pearl Raver. A number of people I don't see when I go, or Andraco, I don't see them, so it's a shame. That's the only part of it. But, I love living down here. It's cheaper. Lindley and I are very happy here. So it's a small price to pay for the joy of being down here. So what do you got, Sean? Oh, there it is. Thank you, Charles. Appreciate it. Thank you, Charles. I'm going to cue that up so I can read that before I go to bed tonight. The American Me murders Holmes. Mexican Mafia order retribution slayings for Edward James Olmos. Movie Holmes. 1-2 Holmes. Oh, I remember that. Oh, I forgot. That's right. What's his name? Hiroyuki. He's in this movie. That's right. Homie from Mortal Kombat. I forgot that he's in this movie. Right. All right. Sorry, guys. Okay. Let's see. Anybody else? Any other super chats, rather? I just want to make sure I get them all. Nope. All right. And where are we at? 100 likes? Are we at 100 likes yet? Are we at 100 likes? Where are we at right now? 103. Thank you all so much. You guys are incredible. Really appreciate that very, very much. All right. Let's see. We've got a couple of Streamlabs that have come through. Billy Atwood says, hey, Rocha, just wanted to give you some love. Love everything you do, especially Geek Buddies. Also, shout out to my Baltimore Ravens, being the only Ravens fan I know in California. I'm so excited for this NFL season. I think your team will win the East. Yeah, Billy, I hope so. Damn, Billy, I hope so. We'll see what happens. I think we've got a really good shot. I don't trust the Cowboys. My producer thinks Daniel Jones can actually play football. And who's the other team in our division? Who's the other team? The Eagles. The Eagles. That's a dumpster fire, man. They're a dumpster fire. So my Redskins, led by Fitz Magic, are going, and that Chase Young is going to Hannibal Lecter Daniel Jones. Like, he is going to eat his liver with some Chianti and fafa beans. So that's the Chase Young is going to do that to Daniel Jones. And Dallas is the only team I'm really scared of, because Dak Prescott, Ezekiel, those are talented people. But Hard Knocks might fuck that whole team up. So we're going to see what happens. I mean, every NFC East team is laughing out of joy that the Cowboys are going to be on Hard Knocks, because Hard Knocks always fucks up the teams. Always fucks up the teams when they're on there. Remember when Cleveland was on there and then Hugh Jackson got fucking fired? Like that's and when he found out that like his assistant coaches were angling to become head coach behind his back, like Hard Knocks is the worst. But Jerry Jones loves that attention, boy. Loves that attention. So thank you very much, Billy Atwood. I appreciate it. Shout out to your Ravens. Yeah, I think your Ravens, listen, Lamar Jackson, those Ravens, I think this is their year to go at least to the AFC Championship, if not the Super Bowl. I don't trust in the Chiefs that much anymore. I think the Buccaneers exposed them in the Super Bowl. And yeah, you could argue they had some issues with line injuries on the line or the O-line, whatever. But like, just like the Giants exposed Brady when they played them twice, if you just rattle the quarterback, you get in there, you got a good scheme to get in there and rattle them, you can do that. And Mahomes is human. So there you go. Fred Tastic says, hey, Jay Rocha, here's a sports question. What is your favorite sport nickname? My favorite was Kung Fu Panda for Pedro Sandoval and Pulga Bionica, which is Bionic Flea, for Lionel Messi. Great show. Thank you, Fred. I appreciate it. Ooh, favorite sports nickname. You know what? Give me a few seconds to take a look at. Does that mean the Splendid Splinter? Here's a good one. The Yankee Clipper for Joe DiMaggio is fantastic. Whatever. I liked the Slim Reaper, even though Kevin Durant hated it. Oh, Black Mamba, even though Kobe called himself that, he ended up earning that nickname for sure down the road. The Answer is great for Allen Iverson. Let's see. Beast Mode? No. Tiger. Oh, well, Tiger. Is Tiger, but oh yeah, Eldrick. I guess Tiger is his nickname. Matty Ice is his ironic nickname since they blew that lead. The Big Hurt was great. Megatron was fantastic for Calvin Johnson. I love that. Charlie Whitehurst was Clipboard Jesus. The Refrigerator, William Perry. That's a good one. Jesus, that's a good one. The Big Unit for Randy Johnson. Yeah, Air Jordan. Although, to be honest, Air Jordan wasn't really that much of a nickname. That's more of a truth. Yeah, these are great fucking names. I love this. What's my favorite one? Oh, of course. My favorite one. I am a Washington fan. Now a Washington football fan, but a team fan. But I was a Redskins fan. So the Diesel, John Rickens. No nickname will bring more joy to my face than hearing the Diesel. And seeing that Redskins fan, the black Redskins fan in the Indian and the Native American headdress going, wop, wop, time to fire up the Diesel, wop. It's great. So the Diesel, best nickname ever, for sure. So that's what I would say. The Glove is great for Gary Payton. Hell yeah, PG-13. Yes, Paul George. The Big Hurt, Frank Thomas, was certainly damn good. Jesse Swift, what was your favorite Marvel film to review with Lady Outlaw? Ooh, Jesse, that would have to be, I think Black Panther, to be honest with you, because, when we started this journey, I wanted her to enjoy the movies, to like them, to see them the way I see them. And I don't mean fully become a nerd or anything, but like to understand why I love them the way I do, why so many of us love them the way we do, because they're not just, wearing pajamas and saying things and using superpowers. There's real human emotion, real human connections, real human issues that are being explored in these movies. And so I was hoping that we would hit on a movie that really kind of brought it all together for her. And she hasn't hated a lot of the movies. I mean, she hates Winter Soldier, and I'll never understand. I mean, I know her reasons, but I just still don't understand the reasons. But she fucking hates Winter Soldier. But hearing her joy last week. Oh no, sorry, not last week, the week before. Hearing her joy 2 weeks ago talk about Black Panther and how much she loved Black Panther and how much she enjoyed, and like the issues that were brought up, and stuff with slavery and the stuff with Killmonger and the stuff with the Black community and helping, not helping, and the technology and the conversations with Shuri and all the stuff with Lupita Nyong'o and Denai Guerrero, like all of the stuff that she explored throughout the movie she spoke about it with such joy, such reverence, such love for it, that I was just very, very happy, that she enjoyed it. So it was a joy to hear her be happy about it. So yeah, that would be that's my answer. That's my favorite Marvel movie that we've talked about or touched on. It's been fantastic. So yeah, there's my answer. Oh, The Bus. That's another good. The Bus is fantastic for Jerome Bettis. Who is Childish Bambino? I've never heard. Of course, I know Childish Gambino is Donald Glover, but who is Childish Bambino? Evander the Real Deal, Holyfield. Hell yeah, that was awesome. The Real Deal is fantastic, and he was the real deal. All right, let's see. We got 2 more stream super chats that have come through here. And please, if you got any Streamlabs, send them in. We'll end the show in about 15, 20 minutes. So maybe I'll hang out till 11:30. I don't know. It's been a hell of a night. So, but if you want to keep sending stuff in, would really appreciate us some late Streamlabs, some late super chats that get us into a good position financially for doing the show this late. I would appreciate it madly. Simon Section says, have you seen the Heels trailer? Thoughts? No, I haven't seen it yet. I think we're going to talk about it, Aaron Turner and I, on Strong Style this week. So wait for Saturday and we'll give you our thoughts on it. Or maybe I can convince Aaron to do a trailer reaction with me tomorrow. That could be a lot of fun to put up on the channel for us for sure. So not yet, Simon, but I'm looking forward to it. Josh Mabry says, Transformers aside, what is your biggest guilty pleasure? Mine is Double Take. The movie's plot is all over the place, but it's always an enjoyable film. Wait, what is Double Take? Is that 2001 or 1997? Which one? Oh, the Eddie Griffin and Orlando Jones. Oh man, back when Orlando Jones could lead a film. Right. Oh my God. Garcelle Beauvoir's in that. Edward Herman's in it. Robbie Robinson, former Mr. Olympia or something like that? Eddie, obviously Daniel Roebuck. Wow. Favorite guilty pleasure besides the Transformers movies? Damn. I got to come up with the list for these things because people do ask. And I hate saying the same thing. Like I always say Hudson Hawk, or I always say once a million ways to die in the West. I'll probably get shit for this, but oh well. Zorro the Gay Blade, 1980s comedy, George Hamilton as Zorro. And of course, George Hamilton is not Latino. But I forgive this movie because it is so fucking funny for me. 80s comedy. And he plays twins. So Zorro dies. Their dad is Zorro, and he dies, and he bequeaths the Zorro mask and the costume to whichever one of his sons gets the letter first and opens the case. So it's the straight George Hamilton who is the first one to get the letter and open the case. It becomes Zorro. However, he hurts himself during one of his escapades, and he calls upon his twin brother, who is gay, to come in and become Zorro. And it is so funny. And they don't, in my opinion, and of course, I defer to the gay community, I don't think they pander to the gay community in a way that's offensive. I think they're funny about it. I think they're smart about it. And Zorro the Gay Blade is actually a kick-ass character who constantly, gets the best of the alcalde and every situation he's in. Very funny, smirky. He has more outlandish colors for Zorro, like different colors when he becomes Zorro, which I think is a very funny way to show, gay people are way more fashionable than straight dudes. And it just works. So that's my guilty pleasure, man. I could watch that movie right now. I can recite the score. I mean, I just know the thing backwards and forwards, and he's got his assistant Paco. Lauren Hutton is in the movie. Ron Rifkin, I think his name is. He's the alcalde. So it's very funny. So that's my guilty pleasure. And I'm ashamed of it sometimes, but I don't care. He also did another funny one from the late 70s called Love at First Bite, where he plays Dracula coming to New York to find the love of his life. And Jill St. James, or Jill St. John, was that her name? Jill St. James. She plays the love of his life. And George Hamilton is Dracula. And it's very funny. And Renfield is played by the old Artie Johnson from the Laugh-In days. And I remember those two films came out like a year or two apart. And I just was a mad addict for those films. I have them on DVD. They don't have them on Blu-ray. They didn't adapt those to Blu-ray, but I have them on DVD, and they are fun to watch when I get a chance to watch them for sure. Thank you, Josh. Appreciate that, my man. Oh yeah. Let's see here. Oh yeah, we got Simon Section. It's been a pleasure chatting with you, Outlaw. I can't wait for the new season of The Crown. It's about to go down. Yeah, I know it is about to go down. And so great to see how many of them were nominated for Emmy Awards too. That this season might have been the best season of The Crown since maybe the second season of The Crown. Maybe. First season of The Crown's good. Second season's stellar. Third season's good. Fourth season's excellent. So maybe, just maybe, you can argue it's the best season of The Crown. Olivia Colman was stellar. And so was Emma Corrin as Diana. Oh my God, it was incredible. And Josh O'Connor as Charles. Woo! Good stuff. Good stuff. Yeah, I can't wait for the next one. They're recasting the whole cast because they're older now. So be curious to see what they do with it. Absolutely. Let's see. Jesse Swift says, what upcoming Marvel Disney Plus show are you most looking forward to? For me, it's Moon Knight. Let's go. Oh, it's absolutely Moon Knight. You know, back there behind my bookcases, you can see I've got, you would be able to see if it was in focus, how many Moon Knight books I've got over there. Moon Knight is absolutely one of the ones. But that being said, I am kind of low key looking forward to Hawkeye. If it's based on the Matt Fraction stories, then I'm so curious to see how they're going to adapt that into live action with Haley Steinfeld as Kate Bishop and with Florence Pugh coming in as Yelena, as possibly the other Black Widow, second Black Widow. So to me, I've got a lot of interest in that one. I'll see how it plays out. I think Miss Marvel, I'm looking forward to Miss Marvel as well. That's going to be a lot of fun. But yeah, Moon Knight's number one for me, Jesse. I'm in the same boat with you. Moon Knight, absolutely. I never thought I'd ever see a live action Moon Knight. Mark Spector, that whole storyline. To me, it's Moon Knight and Hellblazer. Those are the two characters that are out of the norm or the mainstream superheroes that you see whose stories I've thoroughly enjoyed reading and exploring and being challenged by when they're written and designed or drawn by great artists. So those are the two that I would absolutely 100% say for sure. So thanks, Jesse. Appreciate it. Justin Toner says, I just added El Norte to my Criterion wish list. Nice. Getting any more Criterion before the sale ends. Lone Wolf and Cub set is tempting. I already have the Lone Wolf and Cub. I might try to find the Zatoichi, which I think is out of print or out of issue. But that's $100, man, because it's so many movies in there. But I'm tempted to get the Zatoichi one for sure. But Lone Wolf and Cub is stellar. But if you don't want to get them, if you have HBO Max, man, they're on the TCM. All the Lone Wolf and Cub movies are on the TCM section of HBO Max. So if you want to save your money on Lone Wolf and Cub, brother, you can watch those movies there on HBO Max if you want. So just a little suggestion. But yeah, that's a fantastic one. Jonathan Charles says, I'm sorry, I was watching the finals and just started watching. Love your Q&A, sir. Thank you, Jonathan. Appreciate it. My producer's giving me shit because I haven't talked about Black Widow and the box office in Space Jam. All right, so I'll talk about it real quick because it's in the title. A lot of people are upset about the Black Widow box office situation, the day and date type of thing. I don't think it's that big of a deal. You know, it made its money. Did it make as much money as it was as people were predicting it would make? No, but I also think, people saw it in the theater, then went home and paid the $30. So you gave them the option. If the theaters are pissed, let them be pissed. This is the game now. And I said this back on Movie Talk a year and a half ago before they let me go. I said people need to start accepting that things are changing, that this idea of going to see these other films in the theater, that's going to be less and less. And that streaming, and I started saying when streaming started happening, I said it on Mornings with the Outlaw, I don't know how many times, that people need to start accepting this is the new norm. That streaming is going to become very much a part of what we do. And that's people are going to become accustomed to watching things at home. Yes, they'll go to the theater and enjoy it the first time around. But I don't think they're going to go back in the numbers that they went back like 4 or 5 times to go see a movie. I think they'll go and then they'll come home, pay the $30 and be able to watch it multiple times at their house. That's what I think. So to me, I understand the anger over the box office, the theaters being upset about the box office Black Widow, because it affects their bottom line, affects their ability to hire employees or to pay employees and whatever. So I totally get it. Or to have a business, make any money off the business. So I totally get it. I just don't think it's a clutch of pearls moment. I think this has very much been in motion the whole time. And I saw someone tweeting someone else's idea. It was like, oh, this is so brilliant. I've seen no one else say this. I'm like, yeah, all right. I mean, I've been saying it for over a year, but yeah, this is the thing that you see here. Overall, people are accustomed to certain things. So they like sitting at home with these variants being out there. A lot of people don't want to go to the theater. People want to protect their kids. So yeah, we're going to see the number like Milwaukee tonight, seeing those 65,000 people out there. I'm like, there's no masks. How many people are going to come out of that celebration? I hope nobody does, but how many people come out of the celebration with the Delta variant or the Lambda variant or COVID-19, the basic COVID-19? How many are coming out of there? I wonder, fuck man, wear your masks in those situations. It's getting worse, especially in the Midwest where a lot of people don't want to get vaccinated. So I don't know. Just seems crazy to me. Thank you, Jonathan Charles, for hanging out with us. And we appreciate you watching the finals as well. Let's see. Oh, Secular Monk. Hey, what's up? Had the opportunity to see One Eye Jacks the other day for being the only film Brando ever directed. I liked it a lot. I know it's good. I have it on Criterion. It is fucking good, isn't it? It is so good. Like I was surprised too. And he had a lot of struggles on that set making that movie. And and it's fun. It's ironic too, because I mean, he knows how tough it is to direct a movie, yet he still gave directors a whole bunch of shit even after he did that movie for many years until he passed. So it's just a frustrating thing when you see that, but it's a damn good movie, dude. Nobody talks about that Western as much as they should. And I agree. Brando did a fantastic job. I'm glad you saw it. Not a lot of people have seen that one. So, it's good to be on that island a little bit. Let's see here. What else have we got? Have we got anything else? I've got any Streamlabs that have come through here. Let's see. Yeah. Fantastic. Oh, Doug. Hey, what's up, Doug? He says, in all your years as a film critic, do people give you more shit for loving a movie that's universally hated or hating a movie that's universally loved? And can you give an example of both? Yeah, sure. If you want my honest opinion, I think people like Collider used my love of the Transformers movies as a reason to denigrate me as a film critic and bar me from being on FYC. I truly believe that. For 2 years, I went and lobbied to be a part of FYC. The first year, Mark turned me down and said, you got to earn it. It's all of a sudden he thinks it's a thing people should earn, even though he handed jobs out to people who hadn't earned it or handed things out to people who hadn't quite 100% earned it. But to me, all of a sudden, he said it was a meritocracy. He was always sliding scale of whatever the fuck he wanted to say in those moments. So I accepted the first year. The second year, I went to the executive producer of the show, and I'm not going to name the names. And I said to that person, you need to have some color on the show. This is 3 white people. I want to be on the show. This is our 3. This is what we're going with. This is what we have. And I was turned down. As a Latino critic, I was turned down to be part of FYC twice. And I think it was because I had spoken about the Transformer. It was always like alluded to or mentioned, or in Slack or work Slack. Sometimes I was given shit about. I've got copies of some Slacks that some of people said at my job about me. I copied them in case anyone ever comes up and tries to push some bullshit. I'll gladly just put it up on Twitter. So it was like it's that kind of stuff that I had to endure for like in the Transformers movies, and people thought, oh, he's not a serious film critic. We couldn't possibly have him on FYC because he likes that film or those films. Never mind that everybody on that panel likes some pretty crappy fucking films, but for whatever reason, I got dinged for that. Was it, feeling threatened, or was it just they didn't want someone coming right up? Did people feel I didn't earn my spot because I didn't do it the way they did it? I don't know. But that is something that I think dinged me. And me liking some of the action movies, some of the more cheesier action movies and stumping for them and whatever. And all of that, so I had to take my hits. But meanwhile, I could run rings around almost all of them when talking about classic cinema or the greatest cinema or 70s cinema or whatever. But because I enjoyed these kind of more funner films at times, it was a knock against me. So that's my honest belief, just from some exchanges I'd had when I was there. Hating a movie that's universally loved. Yeah, I mean, The Goonies. I take so much shit for not liking The Goonies. Oh my God, I take so much shit for not liking it. People go crazy for how much I do not like it. I don't care for it. I don't hate it. I just don't care for it. So I get a lot of shit for not liking The Goonies. People certainly like to lay into me for not liking The Goonies. But I don't think that's ever stopped me from anything or kept me off of anything. But yeah, Goonies certainly. Wiley, what's up, Wiley? How are you, man? Wiley sent in a stream, and thank you, Doug, for that. Appreciate it, Doug. Wiley said, "Hey, John, I know you used to work at the Harry Potter world, but what's your thoughts on the movie? I've never heard your actual thoughts about the movies. It's my favorite franchise." Oh yeah, the Harry Potter movies. Yeah. Here's what I'll tell you. I hate the first two. No, I shouldn't want to hate. I don't like the first two movies. They're too childish for me. I don't like Chris Columbus as a director. I think he's too safe and boring. Home Alone is great, but like as he got more, I just haven't liked a lot of his stuff. His version of Rent is horrific as a musical. Not the actor's faults at all. It's his direction. But Prisoner of Azkaban is where the franchise completely changes. I'm not a big Goblet of Fire guy, but then you get into the Rise of the Phoenix or whatever it is, the Phoenix one. You get into what are the? Sorry, let's. I apologize that I don't know them offhand. It's late, brother man, and I'm a little tired. But let's run through these. So yes, Prisoner of Azkaban, yes. Order of the Phoenix, fantastic. Half-Blood Prince, fucking great. Deathly Hallows Part 1, I like it, even though a lot of people are upset at how slow it is. I dig it. And Deathly Hallows Part 2 is stellar, absolutely stellar. But Sorcerer's Stone and Chamber of Secrets, if I have to watch them, I watch them, but they're really childish to me. They're not my cup of tea. And Goblet of Fire is a bit cheesy with like David Tennant's father. It's like there's no real establishment of that relationship. And then we have to really care about the fact that Tennant is a part of these contingents. It's not really explained. Bertie, whatever his name, Bertie, they're not really explained. It's not really explained that well. And then the whole thing with Robert Pattinson is just weird. Now the stuff with the Beauxbatons is interesting. The competitions are cool in that film. The Triwizard Tournament is cool. And the stuff with He Who Shall Not Be Named coming back, that's cool. But everything else around that movie is kind of boring. But like I said, then you start Order of the Phoenix, Half-Blood Prince, Deathly Hallows, all those are good. So that's what my overall opinion on the movies are. But I think everybody you see Daniel Radcliffe really become a great actor by the end of the series. Emma Watson grows as she goes along, because initially it was a lot of, but she got better as she went along. Rupert Grint was always good from the beginning. Rupert Grint was he's one of these guys that probably is never going to get like the big recognition he deserves, because Daniel Radcliffe does everything around the world. But Rupert Grint is a fantastic actor, deserves way more love than he gets for what he did in those movies. And of course, Richard Harris. I'll always take Richard Harris over Gambon as Dumbledore. But I think Michael Gambone's moment in the train station, is it Deathly Hallows 1 or 2 with Harry? That's one of the greatest scenes in the history of Harry Potter on screen. That scene where he's seeing the like young Voldemort or the bait, whatever the version of Voldemort that's like shivering under the train bed, like all of that in the whatever the fantastical white train station that they're at. That to me is Gambon did an incredible job. I don't think Richard Harris would have been able to do as good of a job of that scene as Gambon does. So that I give him credit for that. And of course McGonagall, and of course fucking the late great Alan Rickman, who's incredible as Severus, and Hagrid, Robbie Coltrane as Hagrid. Great stuff. So overall, it's a damn good series. And I think that's why Fantastic Beasts is such a letdown for a lot of people. I liken it to The Hobbit for those Lord of the Rings fans, right? Those Lord of the Rings fans, and you know who you are. You are slavishly devoted to that fucking trilogy. slavishly devoted. You probably own the extra 45 minutes of each of those films and have watched it multiple times. But when you get to The Hobbit, you guys are really let down by The Hobbit. I think people who are massive Harry Potter fans are really let down by Fantastic Beasts. And certainly after that second film, woof, daddy, that second film sucks nuts. So I think that's the thing at the end of the day. So that's my overall thoughts on it, brother. I think it's a damn good franchise. And I think a lot of people, a lot of young people who saw it were really shaped by that franchise for who they are. Like who they are was shaped by that franchise. And that's what films do. People forget it's just a movie. Yeah. But films shape us. Films change us. Films open our eyes to things. And when you're a young person, you know how many people grew up with Back to the Future as their like 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, that age, grew up watching Back to the Future. It changed them. It formed them. Michael Vogel, I think, is a product of Back to the Future. You see these movies at a young age and they form you, they change you. And I think the Harry Potter series does that. And the way it ends is incredibly memorable and effective. So that's my overall thoughts, brother man. And thanks, dude. It's good to see you, Wiley. It's been a long time. Let's see. Wayne Edwards says, "What's up, Outlaw? Tonight is the second to last night of school I've had on Tuesday and Thursday nights. Question: have you seen The Black Hole?" Yes. The 1979 Disney sci-fi film. The film is so cool, not perfect, and the score by John Barry is amazing. Okay, Wayne Edwards, you brought up a fantastic film that is on Disney Plus. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have not seen The Black Hole, you need to watch The Black Hole. 1979. That's around the time of Alien, around the time of Blade Runner, around the time of whatever sci-fi films are coming out around that time. This is one of the greatest sci-fi films that people do not mention or talk about or give enough love to. I love that movie so much. I made my parents buy me the LP of the movie. Back in those days, back in the early days, Disney would put out abbreviated versions of the movie on LP, on records. So you'd essentially have an hour of the movie on record. So they would cut off parts of the movie. So you would just watch, and that's how much my addiction to The Black Hole was, is that I would watch the original whenever it was we'd go to the theater and see, and then I would watch it whenever it came on television. But I also had the record for whenever I wanted to put it on, just listen to it. And Maximilian Schell is incredible in the movie. Slim Pickens is incredible as the old robot. And then the new robot, I think Vincent is the new robot, and that's Roddy McDowall. And you have Catherine Deneuve, you have Robert Forster. And it's brutal. Like, there are death scenes in that movie that will affect you. There are sounds that human beings make in that movie when they're dying that will stay with you for the rest of your life. The screams when, because Maximilian Schell is the crazy scientist on the ship, and his henchman is Maximilian, which is this like red squared flying robot that kills on command. And I think he used to be like his second in command or his friend, and he experimented on him and turned him into Maximilian, which of course leads to the ending of the movie in some ways. But it is stellar. I can still hear Maximilian Schell saying, Maximilian! Oh, it's so good. It's so fucking good, Wayne. Thank you for talking about or bringing up that movie. You all, if you haven't seen The Black Hole, find some time tomorrow on Disney Plus or sometime this week or weekend and watch it. I'm telling you, it is a damn good watch. It's not as dated as you might think for 1979. Trust me, it's a fucking excellent movie. Oh, yeah, Anthony Perkins. That's right. And Perkins is the one who I don't want to say it, but Perkins. Yeah, Perkins. Yeah, Vincent is Roddy McDowall, Maximilian Schell. Yeah, Maximilian, thank you for playing the back while they drove home. You're awesome. Thank you, Ellie. Appreciate you listening to me, El. Thank you so much for listening. Who else? Yeah, who else is in The Black Hole? It's Catherine Deneuve, right? So who else? Yeah, Fast Bowler says Black Hole scared me so much. It is, right? It's traumatizing. I watched it at a young enough age that it traumatized me. I will forever remember the screams of that certain somebody. And those of you who've seen it, you know who I'm talking about. When that person dies at Maximilian's whirling knife hand. Oh, the screams. I will forever stay. And yes, John Barry's score, which was on the album that I owned. Oh my God. You know what? You guys have motivated me right now. Oh my God, it's 11. I should be going to bed, but you guys have motivated me right now. Is Black Hole available on LP? The Black Hole that I remember as a kid. Because God knows where those albums are now. My mom used to have them in the attic somewhere. And I have an LP player. Black Hole album. I wonder if it's available from the original from Disney. What's the Black Hole? I should look at the Black Hole. Black Hole. Oh. The score is available. Oh my God. I'm going to listen to it. Yeah. Oh, yeah, man. Oh, my God. The score is stellar. Oh, start the countdown. Oh, my God. Right. The dread in the score is excellent. I'm telling you, people don't give this movie enough love, man. Oh my God. I'm going back to being like 12 years old or 10 years old, 8 years old. Shit. I wish I could find the one. I bet I can find it on what are they called? Discogs? Wow, someone's selling it for $300 in audio CD format. The vinyl is $24, but that's the actual score. Bob. Yes, Bob was the other one. Yeah. There's Maximilian. Wow, you can buy Maximilian as a toy. Fuck, that's kind of tempting. Maybe I should put that on my Amazon wish list. Maybe one of you will buy it who are Black Hole fans, and we can share the love together. What? It has a 38% score Rotten Tomatoes? Are you fucking kidding? That might be the next Rotten Tomatoes. I made lobby for that one with Mark Ellis. Overall, yeah, Bob voiced by Slim Pickens. Yeah, just leave me here. I'm all right. You go ahead, Vincent. You go save yourself, Vincent. Oh my God. Mike Hollenbeck, he says he's drunk. You pulled up YouTube and the Outlaw's live. What a great. Hey, well, Michael, since you're drunk, free question of the night, Michael. You don't have to send in the Streamlab or Super Chat. Since you're drunk, what's your question for the Outlaw? What's a question you've always wanted to ask the Outlaw, son? About Ringette. Oh, you can get the soundtrack. Yeah, but you can't get the. I was already traumatized by Jaws by the time I saw Black Hole. Yeah, Fred, exactly. Oh, Something Wicked This Way Comes. Sarah, that's a great one that also was pretty scary. That's Jason Robards, I think, right? Something Wicked This Way Comes. Or am I thinking of someone else? Oh, yeah, don't spoil. You're right. I don't want to spoil anything. No, Sarah, if you haven't seen Black Hole, go put it right now on your watch list on Disney Plus. I'm telling you, you will not regret it. Holy shit. I need to talk to Rotten Tomatoes is wrong and put that on there. No, wait, Wayne Edwards, right? No way, 38%. That's horseshit. Absolute horseshit. Simon's section, the fireball scene with the protagonist narrowly escaped is marked in my mind. And yes, absolutely. I can see them running across the scaffolding, running across the walkway, rather, as it comes. Yes, Simon, yes. It was so well shot. So well shot. Who directed Black Hole? Maybe a 5-pointer. 1979. Gary Nelson. What a nondescript name. It was like Tate Taylor. Gary Nelson. What else did he direct after 1979? What did he direct? He was directed, a bunch of TV stuff. He did the original Freaky Friday from 1976. Oh, with Jodie Foster, right? Barbara Harris and Jodie Foster. Is that? I don't think that's the original. Actually, my bad. I think there was one before that one. Fuck me. He directed Nighthawks with Stallone. Get the fuck out of here. Oh, he's uncredited as director. Then what does that mean? That's weird. Jimmy the Kid. I don't remember that one. Alan Quartermain, Lost City of Gold. Yes. Shout out to Richard Chamberlain. But then a bunch of TV movies and then a bunch of series for a series called Early Edition. Wasn't that the one with Kyle Chandler? Yes, I remember that show. Early Edition. Holy shit. He's still alive. Oh, fuck me. He's still alive. Wow. What if I line up an interview with Gary Nelson to talk about the black hole for now? That'd be kind of cool, right? To line up an interview with him. Yeah, thanks, Simon. Appreciate it. Much love to you, brother, man. Yeah, I wonder how the black hole ends. Smart ass. Secular Monk said, thoughts on Criterion going to 4K? I'm 1,000% in love with this idea. There have been already some 4K editions of Criterion stuff. Oh, damn it. Sorry, guys. There have been some, I think there have been some 4K editions of Criterion stuff in the past, but there have been 2K as well for some of the black and white ones. But yeah, I'm 1,000% down with this. You kidding? I love 4K. So to see it that way, I would be all about it. It was Tandy Newton who played Sally Bowles in Jefferson in Paris. See, that's a fiver, and that's a biopic. That's a fiver biopic for sure. Let's see. Yeah, bringing up Disney Plus, Sarah. Put that on your watch list. Rafael Benitez says, Rocha, I still own the little booklet with a 45 RPM vinyl disc with a condensed story. That's it. That's the one. Rafael, that's the one. That's the one we had. The 45 RPM vinyl disc with a condensed story. Right. Oh, right. That's the one we had. Oh, my God. I listened to it religiously. It's like an hour of the movie or 45 minutes of the movie or maybe even half an hour of the movie, but they condensed it. You're right. And I remember I would listen to it over and over and over and over again. Yes. He says, saludos desde Mexicali. Saludos usted. Saludos a vos también, hombre. Gracias. Yeah, you're right. They've done 4K restorations films, but not 4K discs. Well, I should be able to return my discs then and get the 4K versions when they come out, for God's sakes. It seems unfair to have to buy these movies all the fuck over again. I don't want to do that. Let's see. Do I have any more Streamlabs? Jesse says, where's Jesse? Sorry, Jesse. Jesse Swift, who's still on here when he should be studying for his matches. Jesse says, $1.99. Thanks, Jesse. Has my manager ever convinced you to read Saga? Yes, Coy has talked about Saga nonstop. And I haven't told Coy this, but I'll tell you this, and maybe you can relay this message off to Coy. When I was in Barnes & Noble about a week ago, roaming around because my girlfriend wanted to walk around and buy some stuff, I usually look at the LPs because Barnes & Noble has decent prices on LPs. And then I walked over to the graphic novel section. When I never buy them because the graphic novels are always like regularly priced and I can find them cheaper on Amazon. But I saw the Saga one. It was like this thick. And I was like, you know what? I might pay full price for this. Coy talked about how great this is for such a long time that I should maybe read it finally. But I didn't get it, but I will be getting it at some point when I can like look at my schedule and sense where it's going to clear up. Sitting down to read some Saga would be fantastic. So yeah, tell Coy that if you'd like. Rocha +1 for the Goonies. Yeah, exactly. And you can have both my tickets. Simon says, I don't like the Goonies either. You're not alone, brother. Yeah, I know. I've touched a nerve on the Goonies. I've had plenty of people reach out to me and tell me they don't like the Goonies either. And they've been afraid to speak about it because their friends get so mad when they say they don't like the Goonies. So I will fight the good fight with you, for God's sakes. Have you seen Michael? They're the best hands. Tim Burton talked about his hands. Oh, that's funny. All right, any more? Oh, we got some. Yeah, we got the Simon the Fireball scene. Secular Monk, yes. Simon says the black hole ends with a Disney-only representation of hell, or our protagonists going through a wormhole. I'm not giving anything away at all. I'm not giving anything away. Simon is lying, Sarah. He's not telling you what happens. That's none of that happened. Neither one of those things happened at the end of the black hole. Just watch it. Are you guys staying up late to watch it? Oh my God. Don't, Wayne, I'm telling you right now, you're motherfucking fooling yourself if you think you're just going to watch the first hour. Tell yourself that. That's like, oh, we're just going to lay here in our underwear. I promise nothing's going to happen. You go ahead. You go ahead and tell yourself that you're just going to watch the first hour. I guarantee you're going to finish this fucking thing. It was incredible. Jesse says, last weekend I was on an amazing show with Finstock's own Taylor Robinson. Yeah, I love Taylor. We did elimination brackets for IG Films. My God, so much fun with Mara, Marisol, Collins, and Jacob again on Sunday. Yeah, enjoy yourselves. That's awesome. I love Taylor. She's doing great stuff. And she's built her channel up through reaction videos, man. It's been incredible to see what Taylor has done. I'm such a massive fan. And Taylor's the one person in our crew of the Finstock Exchange where we can just say whatever we want about anything in the Schmoedown, anything in our lives, and she gets it. And we get to be the sarcastic or most meanest, and we both understand each other because we're not bad people at heart, but sometimes we got to say some things to get them off our chest. And she's great. I love her. Sarah says it's 2:28 a.m. I'm watching it. I love sci-fi. All right, Sarah, have fun with that. And to report back as you go along. I don't know how long would be on here. Sean can, if you need to go to bed, Sean, I totally get it. Don't sweat it, man. I'm just chilling out here. I'm sure my girlfriend's already in bed and probably mad at me for still talking, being on the phone or being on the line here. But let's see here. Who else have we got? Any more Streamlabs super chats? Overall, no, not yet. If you guys want to send some in as we go along here, maybe over the next few minutes, I'll convince myself to stay up. But the other thing, what else didn't I talk about, Sean? Need to talk. Oh, Space Jam, A New Legacy. Woof, daddy. Woof, daddy, man. What happened there, ladies and gentlemen? Can you talk to me about that? I like LeBron James. I think LeBron James is a goddamn superstar, incredible person, does a lot for his community, never loses who he is as a person. And yeah, sometimes that can be a little frustrating to people because he can be super sensitive. He has his things, but he's also done incredible work for so many communities, incredible work for the legacy of the NBA basketball, for himself, and getting into movies, right? But I mean, a film like this, the problem with Space Jam: A New Legacy is the bones are there for a damn good movie. And the intention behind, I think, the story and why that story attracted LeBron is great as well. This idea of a father and son who have a different point of view and approach from two different generations to a situation. So it's about a father and son learning to understand each other so that they can repair their somewhat broken relationship. And I think that's a great idea. The problem is when you cast LeBron James as a bit of an a-hole or an a-hole dad or an insensitive dad or a villainous dad a little bit, you really alienate the audience, you know? And then if your story is he's got to beat up his son in a basketball game, he's got to basically dunk on his son in a basketball game, then that makes it all the more kind of really uncomfortable. Why are you going this route with LeBron James? Why are you having his son in here who is going to rebel against his father and create these characters so he can beat his father, and he's being, poisoned by Don Cheadle into doing it. And that's another part of this thing. Don Cheadle as Algae Rhythm. Get it? Algorithm, Algae Rhythm. How does an algorithm have feelings? An algorithm doesn't have feelings. That's the whole point of an algorithm, is that it removes the human quotient from it. It is devoid of emotion. So to give emotion to an algorithm and make that algorithm the villain makes no sense to me, especially the hypocrisy of a big company like Warner Brothers, doing a movie where the algorithm, which they use themselves to figure out what projects to greenlight, not greenlight, what projects to promote in a certain way and not to promote, somehow they turn an algorithm into a bad guy when they use this algorithm all the time. And then you had poor Steven Yeun and Sarah Silverman as executives from Warner Brothers, pitching this algorithm to LeBron James. So in essence, Warner Brothers is painting themselves as the bad guy making their own movie. It is really confusing on so many levels why anybody thought this would be a good movie. That being said, though, the movie made $32 million opening weekend. It beat Black Widow, and nobody expected that. So, I think a lot of people just wanted to bring their kids back to the theater again or bring them multiple times. But there are plenty of young kids who liked it. It just wasn't my cup of tea. I thought it was terrible. But I'm not the demographic they were going after, am I? I mean, they're going after the kids who are going to grow up with this stuff. And because of the money it made, if it keeps making money, there's no way they don't do a sequel. And a lot quicker than, because Jordan did the first Space Jam just to sell sneakers, and then he was out. He wouldn't come back for no damn sequel. But LeBron will come back for sequels. Absolutely, LeBron's going to come back for sequels. So, yeah, that's right. Lots of good 3-1 jokes. Yes. What's his face? Lil Rel Howery was really funny about that stuff. But yeah, that Porky Pig rapping, I mean, fuck. Notorious P.I.G. What the fuck? I almost expected him to go, but baby. I almost expected him to have one of those. Baby. I was this close to thinking they were going to throw that in at the end of one of his fucking raps. Yeah, Space Jam 3 with Giannis. That's right. So, yeah, really tough for me watching that movie because I really wanted to like it. And I thought the animation was beautiful, was gorgeous. The Looney Tunes animation was great. But the LeBron stuff was rough, man, just rough. And LeBron is not a good actor. In Trainwreck, you can forgive it because he's playing himself, right? Just like Amari Stoudemire is playing himself. But like when he's playing, yeah, he is playing a version of himself, but he's giving himself like these kind of a-hole characteristics or a-hole personal things. He can't really he can't really convey them believably. You know what I'm saying? Even with J.R. Smith, when he was so mad at J.R. Smith messing up that first game against the Warriors in the finals that one year, he wasn't like, you son of a bitch, I'm going to kill you. He was like, what were you thinking, man? What were you thinking? Right? It was more a matter of like, I'm mad at you for not doing the right thing, but I'm not going to yell at you and I'm not going to like bully you or berate you or jump on top. So LeBron doesn't have that impulse. It's not his impulse. Can he be vicious on the court to win? Yes. But he's not out there to destroy people, right? And so there's a difference. Jordan was out there to destroy people, okay? There's a difference. So I think turning him into a mean guy just didn't make sense at all. All right. What's going on here? All right. Let's see. What do we got here? All right. I think that's all the topics I was supposed to cover tonight. Let's wrap up in like 9 minutes. Do you guys have any other questions? That's right. And I took that personally. Yeah, that's right. Do you guys have any other questions that you want to ask me? Anything else you want to know? Any Schmoedown drama you want to know in the next 9 minutes? Let me know. I'll answer it. And then I'll wrap things up and head on off to bed. I might get up early and start watching stuff. So I need my 6-7 hours of sleep. But thank you all so much for joining me tonight. You can tell my voice is on its last legs. Also, this light is really bright. Like you can see all my moles and shit. Like I don't like this light, man. I need some soft lighting here, Sean. What can I do? Where do I get that Barbara Streisand lighting? I get that lighting where it's like soft. How far can you pull back? How do you feel about Denver? How do you feel about Denver? Was it Cincinnati? Cleveland? How do you feel about Cleveland? Knock it off. Fast Bowler says, I can't wait for your Pig review. Yeah, Pig's only 90 minutes, so I will breeze through that tomorrow morning. But I'm going to first record a Jackass trailer reaction. So we'll go from there, and then I'm going to see Pig, and then I'm going to see the Joe Bell film. I'm also seeing Stillwater again next week. I'm telling you, people, Stillwater, that is Matt Damon's best performance maybe ever as an actor. I'm not joking. He is so fucking good in this movie. I think you all are going to be, I think everybody like knows Damon's a good actor, but I think you're going to be reacquainted with how good of an actor he actually is. He is stellar in this movie. And I can't wait to see it again next week in a screening. I'm bringing Lindley along for the screening because she wants to see the film. So I'm going back to see it again. Pantyhose over the camera. Oh, man. Yeah, Alex Wolf. Yeah, I've interviewed Alex Wolf a couple of times. I've had a lot of fun with Alex. He's a really good guy. We follow each other on Instagram. I don't know if I can land an interview with him because you got to go through his agents and all that kind of stuff. So maybe. Douglas wants to know what's this week's Cinephiles episode. Well, we announced it, didn't we, Doug? It's the Goonies. We're doing Cinephiles Live this week. We're talking about the Goonies. The plan is to do it on Sunday, but we don't know yet if it'll be Sunday or Saturday because we're waiting for Shannon's schedule to be released by Universal Studios on Friday. So we won't know when the show is going to be until Friday. So hopefully Shannon will get us the information in the morning and let us know. Yeah, Sarah says she's waiting for Stillwater. Jeremy says, curious. I'm telling you, it's. I've seen some critics say it's some of the plot contrivances. Sure. I don't think it's like Spotlight, right? Because the same director, Tom McCarthy, but it's a fucking good movie, and he is excellent in it. So it's worth it. Darren is awake. Well, Darren, I'm about to go to bed as you rise. Good day, Darren. Jesse Swift says, John, it was a lot of fun hanging with you tonight and everyone here. Thank you, Jesse. Appreciate it, brother. Thanks for hanging out with us. Much love to you. Simon Section says, real talk, Latino superheroes comic book. I want to purchase this. Yes. Oh, done and done. Yes, Simon. How do we make it happen? Son? We shall see. All right. I think this is a good place to wrap it up as I head on off to bed. And Darren Wright wakes up and embraces the new day there in England. Thank you all so much for joining me tonight. We've been on for 2.5 hours. You guys have been incredible. Thank you for all the likes on the video as well. Thank you for the Streamlabs and the Super Chats. You're very kind to send the donations and support in. Please don't forget about my Patreon, patreon.com/John Rocha. Go and be a part of that and hang out with us. We do 2 hangouts a week, one on the Discord and one on Zoom. So we all get to know each other, hang out, and have fun. You also get to be part of the shows, interactive part of the Patreon shows. There are new tiers coming for people who are becoming new members of the Outlaw Nation Patreon, and you get some really cool perks as well. Also, what else in the Patreon? Oh, if you are in the Patreon for more than 3 months, then you can be considered to apply to compete in the Outlaw Nation Movie Trivia League. So that's a lot of fun. And everybody there takes it seriously, but not too seriously, right? They have fun with it. Remember the early days of Schmoedown when it was fun? Those are the things that happen there behind. So if you're in for 3 months, you can do it. You can also help me train for any matches I might have coming up later on this year. If I get scheduled for any more matches, we shall see. So it's a lot of fun. And it's great people. Sol, Sean, Cheryl, Josh Mabry, Justin Toner, Douglas Renerick. So many great people are part of it. Brennan, just so many people that you guys have a lot of fun. It's a great crew. No toxicity, no drama. All friends. Royko, all friends. Darren is a part of it. Chris is a part of it. Chris Aikman's a part of it. So it's a great time. It's Aisha. It's an awesome time. Great people, great crew. And everyone's very understanding, accepting of each other. Even when one person gets a bit too passionate about something, everyone kind of receives it and then talks him or her down. Smithy, all these great people are involved in the Patreon. So please come aboard. Logan, absolutely. All right, let's see here. We got Wayne Edwards says the black hole is that I love Robert Forster's character. He was a leader and could see light in some dark situations. I never forgot that. Oh yeah, it's a great lesson. Absolutely, Wayne. Great point, Wayne. Absolutely great point, my man. Yep, absolutely. All right. As for me overall, please, as Sean said, please don't forget to hit that like button as we wrap up here. Really appreciate you all giving us as many likes as possible as we wrap up. And please remember to follow me. Oh, is Peggy in here? Get out of here. Is Gubbins in here? Gubbins, are you rolling around in here? I saw someone tag Peggy. Is Peggy rolling around in here? Shout out to Peggy G, man. Good to see you, Peggy, if you're hanging out. Thanks for hanging out with us. Good to see you, Logan. Logan, good to see you, brother. What was I saying? Oh, yeah. As for me, follow me at the Outlaw Nation on Twitter and on Instagram. Don't forget I'm on Twitch. For those of you who don't know, Twitch, the Outlaw Nation, all one word, lowercase. Cheryl and Sean Wingblade have been really great at helping me get everything going on the Twitch. And thanks to Justin Toner and Dagan and all those people who show up and watch my streams. It means a lot. So I appreciate it as we build the Outlaw Nation out into a new forum in Twitch. And Aaron Turner has got his PS5, and I made him get the PS5 camera. So hopefully now we can start doing more shows on Twitch that are strong style related. Maybe reviews of Raw the next day, or SmackDown the next day, or NXT or AEW. So there'll be like a half-hour conversation about it. Like there'll be more stuff coming on Twitch, more shows and whatever. And we might move the Outlaws MCU rewatch once we finish, and we keep going as the Outlaws. We might move it to Twitch as well as YouTube. So we'll stream it to Twitch and YouTube. So that's something that we're looking at as well. So a lot of stuff going on there for sure. What else? Don't forget, Top 10 dropped a new episode today. It was Top 10 Bruce Willis films, but really it was us shooting the shit for like an hour and 15 minutes, then doing our Top 10 Bruce Willis, and then talking about which of the 22 projects that Bruce Willis has currently in post-production or pre-production or completed that we are looking forward to the most. And there are some crazy plots. So we had a little fun breaking some of those down as well. That's up there if you subscribe to the Top 10 podcast feed, or if you want to watch it on the Top 10 YouTube video feed as well. So the YouTube channel's there as well for y'all to enjoy. And this weekend Cinephiles is Goonies Live, or the Goonies, and we're doing Cinephiles Live. And then tomorrow, the new episode of the Geek Buddies is dropping, so we'll be recording that around noon. So hopefully I'll have it up around 2 for you all to enjoy. All right. Oh, yeah, and I put up my trailer reactions. That's right. I've had some really fun trailer. I put up what was today? The Last Duel. That is up there. But I also did a trailer reaction for F-Boy Island, which is on HBO Max. I dropped it last night at like 8 because I was like, fuck it, I'm just going to drop it and see what happens. And it is a very interesting reality show on HBO Max where it's 3 women who have to separate the F-boys from the nice guys, and there's 24 guys, and they're trying to land themselves a nice guy so they can go forward in a relationship. So very funny trailer reaction I did there in reacting to that. And so, yeah, more of them to come, more reviews to come, all of that coming down the pike. So, all right, thank you all so much. I appreciate it. I love you madly. You guys have been amazing. That's pretty much it. Thanks for hanging out with me tonight, and you guys are incredible, and let's keep going with the Outlaw Nation. Remember to spread the gospel of the Outlaw Nation. Share these videos, share all the stuff I do on your social media, get people on board the Outlaw Nation and get them to enjoy the work we're doing here as well. So, all right, that's it. Much love to you. Have a good rest of your night. Please wear your mask if you go out. This Delta variant, I don't want to hear about any member of our nation catching this or going down with it, or hopefully not, but possibly passing away from it. The nation has to stay strong. We love you. We support you. You guys support me. It's important. So please be well and take care of yourself, and don't put yourself in dangerous situations without a mask in crowded spaces. Please be cognizant of that. And I'll end the show like I end every show. Whatever you need to do to get through the next second, next minute, next hour, next day, next week, next month, next year, I want you to do that. You never know what's waiting for you on the other side. If you can just put one toe forward, even one toe forward, to help you move on to the next day, to help you find your strength again, to help you find a little bit, a modicum of your strength again, so you can get through the tough moments, get through the tough days, get through the worrying days, get through the overwhelming days. I want you to do that, because I love you and I want you around. We want you around. And the nation, I want you here to see it grow. And you guys are a great big part of the foundation of the nation. And that's important to me. All right. I love you. Be well. Take care of yourselves. Peace. And thanks to Sean Barreto, who's fantastic hanging out with me tonight and producing the show this late at night. My voice is dead. So you all take care of yourselves. Be well. And I'll talk to you soon. Much love.